aware, our technocratic government has been overthrown, and as a result, we are focusing on internal policies. However, there is a proposal that's currently in the Stellaris General. Actually, and roleplay statements I put there.
Yeah.
In regards to potentially freeing up the L cluster for intergalactic travel. I'll read it out in a sec. Alright. The Endari worlds currently controls the monopoly over the L cluster. The previous technocratic administration has been reluctant to relinquish control of these sectors that they claim would create the Eternal Forge, something we now know that is a lie. The current proposal by the Puck administration is a trade authority to be set up in the L cluster under Endari protection, allowing free trade and passage throughout the galaxy via the L gates. This trade authority vassal would be neutral in foreign affairs and not be used in any wars unless declared upon directly. So basically, it's a vassal that would have independent politics or from the Endari Forge worlds, and this should allow you to set up your own agreements with them and open your own borders to them to use the L gates. Thank you. And so this is something we'll be voting on.
A noble proposal. One that I believe we can all get behind. As the nature of this proposal is not quite in the hard-lettered lines of the galactic community.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, or?
Yeah, I was about to. Within the
yes, I am beardless. What's up, Chuck?
Statements.
You should know that.
There
You've been
is
around.
a tick and a cross.
We're continuing the Stellaris game today, by the way, guys.
If you
we're in a
wish
community meeting, so we're listening.
to support the creation of this trade entity, tick. If you wish to stand against the freeing up of the L-gate, put a cross. It shall be anonymous, and I believe that. Do excuse me, sorry. I believe the Arcala Divergency wishes to speak upon the subject. Please patch yourself through.
Greetings. I am the Princip of the Arcala Divergency. I wish to comment on this proposal being made by the Endari Forge Worlds, which we find to be very disturbing. Although we are not nearly as powerful as they may be, we find their exertion of authority both in the galactic community and in the geopolitical sphere of the galaxy to be completely unacceptable. They forced this trade treaty on the whole galaxy with, as they clearly said, a monopoly that they built in the L cluster. The Divergency questions the very right of the Forge Worlds to have entire control of the L cluster. We also demand them to give a proper statement to the galaxy on why they think that the L cluster gives them the right to colonize every corner of our galaxy. The Divergency underwent a series of intense, I will call them negotiations, although they were closer to threats, from the Endari Forge Worlds, when they used their L cluster to colonize regions of the galaxy close to our southern periphery, where they demanded many of our systems. We, of course, did not accept this, but they now have a holding there, and in addition to other regions of the galaxy, the L cluster has given them advantage to. The Divergency rejects this trade treaty proposal, and calls upon all other members of the galactic community to reject this utterly. We cannot allow the Forged Worlds, although with their great wealth, to exert a monopoly on the L cluster and on intergalactic trade. The Divergency utterly rejects this proposal, as it rejects the authority of the Council and the authority of the Endari Forge Worlds. Thank you.
A fine statement. It should, however, be noted that this land has been colonized and taken by the Endari Forge Worlds with the express purpose of acting as a refuge. At the moment, you can travel through it in order to skip large portions of subspace travel. However, at the end of the day, it is their land to do so as they please. This proposal, I believe, is more of a, how do you say, metaphorical gesture of good faith towards the galaxy. If anyone else wishes to speak, please say so now. If not, then I suggest you begin your voting within the statements channel.
What's up, Ryan? Ryan, how you doing? Good to see you, man. You, mentally preparing for the going back to school? Or have you already started? Don't forget to hydrate. Got my sparkly water right here, my man. Hope you're doing well.
Not gonna lie, I'm very surprised by how the vote's going.
It's losing right now. Their proposal, the trade authority is losing. It's like I never stopped. I'm on my union's contract negotiation team, so I've been working all summer. Well, good. That means you're actually doing your
I'm
job.
gonna give it a countdown of 5 seconds, and after that... Actually,
oh, it's going to pass. Just by
no,
what?
I think everyone's voted.
It is passing.
Yeah, everyone has just voted. Okay. Well, it appears to be 6-3 upon the voting for the creation of this trade authority. In which case, the galactic community appears to give its blessing upon the matter, and we hope, once it is fully established, you will use it well, for the betterment of the collective, rather than the individual. If anyone else wishes to speak, then you may contact me now. However, other than that, I believe this meeting is adjourned.
I'd like to say,
You gotta have the Stellaris roll, Chunk.
This trade authority should be set up in 3 years from now.
Very well. In which case, I hope to see you each in private diplomatic channels. Otherwise, meeting adjourned.
Fuck our temporary channels. There. Alright guys, so we were in the middle of a community meeting, but we are continuing with the Arcala Divergency. This is the third session of our current tiered Stellaris roleplay playthrough. We have expanded quite a lot, and we formed a federation with the Puck Assembly, and we are now in a war with the Xeltek Swarm, which is a hive mind to the south, which we got very hostile with after they captured our people and forcefully integrated them. Things continue to kind of devolve until eventually we have expressly declared war. And wow, the Andari Forge World did delete their systems over here with the L Gate. That's very surprising. Chunk, man, I can do you one better. I'm gonna give you the lore dump. There's so much that, like, and I've explained it so many times, what I do now is I just do this. I have the full thing linked in my video, actually, but I think that's an edit link. Give me a second. No, it's not. Okay. There you go. There's the lore dump. What's up, what the, how you doing? Okay, so like I said, we're in the middle of a war with the Xeltek Swarm. In the beginning of the war, we got surprise attacked in Jana here, and they managed to destroy our main fleet, which has been rebuilt and is being sent back to the border station, which we use to guard the southern periphery and the southern colonies. They continued to ravage our economy and push to the west. They got all the way out to Saif out here with their fleet before the Puck Assembly, our allies, and one of our allied fleets managed to destroy them there, meaning that most of their fleet is gone. We currently have a fleet within their borders, which we're using to just ravage their systems, though we are a little overextended here, so we have to be careful. We also...
I believe I heard my name.
Yes, I was just speaking about what the Puck were doing. And then we also did pay mercenaries to raid them, which he was complaining about earlier. So that's the current state of things, folks. This war does appear to be going quite well, my friend.
So far, although they appear to be a little overconfident for my liking.
They do. I am moving my fleet to the south in their central region to back up that raiding fleet that we have there.
Wonderful. In which case, I should inform you that we are currently in the progress of retaking the final piece of land they have stolen,
Wonderful.
at which point we will be capable of moving.
I do see in the southern region that they are taking systems down there, which will cut me off in Bellatrix. So one of the
Yes.
things I'm going to demand in the peace treaty, assuming we win this war.
Oh, of course. Although I do believe that is a certainty at this point rather than a hope.
I would hope so.
Although it was interrupted by this war, I would like to propose a solution to eliminate the mercenaries entirely at some point.
What are you proposing?
If we were to make an assault force upon the Hesca Reavers, we may be able to free up land for you to expand into, whilst also eliminating the threat of attack from the south.
I agree. But I do want in the treaty stipulated explicitly that the swarm will not... we were going to demilitarize those systems down there.
Of course, of course.
If we get a total victory, I will demand that they stay out entirely. If we get a partial victory, I want to negotiate a demilitarized zone there.
An admirable goal.
I assume you are still primarily looking for the return of those systems that you lay claim to.
Yes. At this current point, I've laid claim to each system up towards Gerard. Although this is not a war of aggression, no planets have actually been taken within this area of space.
Have you made a... They have not colonized anything there, I believe, right?
They have not colonized anything there. It is simply empty space, meant to act as a buffer against their forces should they wish to expand further.
Indeed.
Striking hostile station.
They must be feeling this economically. We've taken many of their very valuable systems at this point.
Construction project.
Not just that, but their ships.
Silence.
So much damage after a while has to end up adding up on their line.
One would think.
Survey concluded.
One would hope.
Then again, the swarm does things very differently. We're applying our understanding of economics to a very alien species and civilization.
Yes, true. At the end of the day, their species is fundamentally alien.
It is quite ironic for us to be saying that in each other's company, but
Yes,
it is
yes,
certainly
I suppose
true.
so.
If the Arcala Divergency aren't from the galaxy, could they be descendants from the L cluster? No, Chunkman. In the lore dump I just gave you, it explains how they got here. So they got here from the Infinity Machine, which I have now heard out of roleplay was apparently destroyed. So it's unfortunate.
Well, in theory, they would still have access to the information they stole from it.
I hope so.
Either way, that's another bridge we can burn when we get to it.
All right, the fleet has been rebuilt on Yanath, and that station has been reinforced. I'm going to keep the majority of that backup fleet there in case anything too extreme happens while we make a foray south.
Wonderful. Your fleets have done quite the damage, by the way.
As of
They must
yours,
have great warriors behind them.
I think both of our peoples understand the existential nature of this conflict.
I hate to interrupt you, but I believe that we are making our first landfall upon Xeltek worlds.
Your fleet, your armies are landing.
Yes,
That is a very big army.
it is a very big task to defend against an enemy who is utterly unified in mind and spirit.
That is true. It appears that the raiding fleet has gone home.
Yes, they have taken what they needed.
Well, it gave us the
Being said,
time we needed to
mercenaries-
push them back, so that's what matters.
Yes. Mercenaries still under contract, however, will be remaining until the end of the war, thankfully.
Wonderful.
Construction project concluded.
We have successfully occupied their world.
Good.
Construction project concluded. System survey concluded. Special project concluded.
They really do not have many large stations. I know in the Divergency we placed a lot of power in strategical placement of stations, which has betrayed us in the past, but I find no such similar installations in their own borders. It's very odd.
Yes, it is concerning. I believe they may have focused all of their forces into mobility-based defenses rather than static ones.
Have your scouts given you any knowledge as to any fleets that lie in wait? I do find it very unnerving for us to be advancing so far with no resistance.
Well, our current view of their systems is remarkably barren, concerningly so. Although we do not have a complete and total view, it's clear that, well, not all of their land appears fully occupied. Large swaths of land seem completely removed from star bases at all.
Construction project concluded.
Oh, do you see what I'm seeing?
I believe I am.
I'm going to send in the backup fleet. Let's go ahead and
Observe.
hold our push here and wait for reinforcements. I have another large fleet that's on its way, as I believe you do as well.
Yes, yes. Main forces are currently on their way.
System survey.
They have a number of very heavy ships.
If you push into the expansion within the western side of their empire, my forces should be able to arrive soon enough to enter direct combat with them. I believe these ships are the ones that escaped in FTL transport earlier.
The ones in their home system, or where do you mean?
Within their home system. I
Yes.
believe we did not entirely destroy their ships, rather
We did not.
simply
They've
scared
rebuilt.
them enough to.
I've rebuilt the majority of my fleet, which is on the way, and let's concentrate all our forces together and not leave anything to chance when we take their home system. If we can defeat that fleet, this war is over, and they will know that.
This war may be over even before that.
One can hope.
Construction project concluded.
That being said, I do have a rather nice announcement to make.
Indeed.
Although we have not spoken of it much in the past, we have been working in private to free up our arcane capabilities. I believe on the global stage we may be described as latent psionics.
Metapuck, indeed. Oh, that does explain a lot of the magic that you and your species have. Things that, although are beyond our understanding and interest, are very apparent in terms of their influence on reality.
Damn you, Vesh! I apologize.
Construction
It
project.
appears one of my stronger fleets has decided to, rather than take the direct route, pick a fight with the Marauders.
That is Ill-advised? Have they already engaged, or...?
They've already engaged, and I've removed them forcibly. They will be reprimanded.
Sounds like you have some very gung-ho officers who need to be kept in check.
I used to have some gung-ho officers. I no longer do.
A wise choice. I will be honest with you. I have noticed a bit of a decrease in the quality of our own admiralty after the fall of the dictatorship. I think there are many who see our change to the council as a means by which to stagnate, which is unacceptable given our current situation in the galaxy.
It should be... I very apologize to interrupt you, but there is a raiding fleet heading towards us.
Where?
They're currently in the Ray-Imar system. I believe that is actually the system in which the planet was. Planet that was landed upon.
I see it. The Marauders. Do we want to engage the fleet and destroy it? Alright,
My larger ships shall be on their way soon enough.
Okay.
Even the smallest of it eclipses them.
Where do you want to meet our fleets?
Perhaps directly in Zandabar. Xeltek swarm. The Queen speaks of a great counter-offensive. We will follow her order. Huck and Arcala shall die.
I just received that as well. It appears they're broadcasting it on all frequencies.
Yes, it may be wise to pull back and consolidate our forces within Siknor.
Where would that be? Siknor,
I
yes.
believe there is an enclave line with it.
I'll bring my fleet down.
Wonderful.
Are those Marauders explicitly hostile to us?
They are explicitly
No,
hostile
they're still working. I guess they've been tasked to raid you, so they won't attack my fleet for some reason.
I suppose they do not see you as the target.
It wasn't in their contract, I guess. To be fair, it is you that make up the bulk of the forces in this war, so I could understand why that would be.
Perhaps, but you make up the bulk of the land and scientific research. Perhaps it may be worth giving that scientist his funding that he for in the construction of Colossus assembly yards.
I remember that proposal. The cost did seem absolutely unsurmountable, though.
Yes, well, even if it is only to act as an intimidation tactic, it would speak as a force of pride.
You plan to make a hollow construction, then?
No, of course not. Never make a threat you cannot back up.
True.
Yes, I believe that these Marauders were actually under contract with us. They simply became hostile upon reaching a planet that we had already invaded, attacking indiscriminately. The swarm is currently moving on an offensive towards us.
I can see that. We will not have... I don't think my forces will get there in time.
They do
Perhaps a retreat to Skomia and hold them there. My fleet can get there in time.
Perhaps, yes. There is no shame in retreat.
We mean to win this war.
Spaceports sustaining damage.
Where is it you wish to consolidate our forces again?
System survey concluded.
Let us do so in Uskomia, just to the north of Signor. I wish there was pings in Stellaris.
Yes, yeah, same.
You found out the purpose of recon tanks. You mean in Millennium Dawn Chunk?
It's not to be feared if they do destroy the current fleet that is within.
Let's not leave anything to chance here.
Of course, but
If you
in the
can,
kindest possible way, not to sound callous, these are not my men. They are marauders.
I understand, but
done
my
the very least.
my men make up my fleets, of which there are quite a few in that system.
Of course, of course.
They are getting closer. I'm gonna combine my fleets into Uskomia.
Wonderful. You should apologize for us taking the long way around. The marauders still remain hostile to us.
Of course, I understand.
Avoiding this fight may allow us to win the next one. The
Construction project concluded.
Here they come.
yes. It may be close, but our combined fleets may be able to hold off the larger wave. Although I'd rather not leave it to chance.
I have around 17,000 fleet power. You have around 20. If we can engage them in the proper system, I think we will. When they are retreating,
Yes.
I say we move forward and try and engage that fleet.
A wonderful idea. We shall set our ships to follow yours.
Construction project concluded.
We'll meet them in Padutora.
Of course.
Research concluded.
I believe they are seeking to evade us entirely,
It does look that way. My fleet will engage
rather
them.
than seeking to directly attack us.
System survey concluded.
Oh, they shall reach a nasty surprise once they meet our fleets in the north.
They're running. South.
South,
Hold on. They're holding.
my fleets are following yours. Lead the way.
Are they jumping? They're jumping. We have a battle. Battle stations!
We're activating any edicts that provide us tactical advantage now.
Initializing hostile engagement protocols.
Here we go.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
They're retreating.
Yes, their fleets are taking heavy damage.
I believe they lost half of their fleet or so already. They're gonna try and run. If we can take out some of those battleships, this is over.
It's hard to run when they cut your tendons.
Construction project concluded.
You've already halved their fleet power.
I didn't know where they were running. There's nothing to jump over there. We caught them. It's over.
Construction project concluded.
We shall send a communique to them now.
I must say, I was not entirely confident that we would be able to beat that fleet, but it appears that our caution proved to have much merit.
Have a little more faith, dear friends. We've made it this far together.
Indeed. But you must understand, the history of my people in warfare is one where expectations have never been very high.
Research concluded.
A healthy bit of cynicalism, I think I'm saying that right?
Cynicism.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you very much. Is always a good thing to have in a situation like this.
Very much true.
I must say, I find it quite entertaining that you are more adept at my language than myself, but
I'm a scholar by nature.
I understand. I'm a military man. We have very different paths to our current situation.
Yes.
Translator failure, a military man who's not proud of his military. Well, we're proud of their military, it's just we've had problems with it, Chunk, because it's kind of like gone down a lot in quality during when we got to this galaxy and when we didn't have constant warfare. So the standards that it holds now are very different than in the past. It's not incompetent, but it's not, we're not like the warrior state that we were. So it's a very different type of officer corps that we're beginning to have now, that like the older generation's dying off, roleplay wise.
We have sent them communique. We have decimated your fleets, we have struck upon your world, and we will continue to do so until we meet your queen, lest you submit. Enter into communications now, and we may discuss terms of your unequivocal surrender.
Unconditional, nothing less.
You wish to speak?
Yes.
We are seeking
your
nothing
fleets,
less than your unconditional surrender.
Unconditional.
We are within several jumps of your homeworld. If we bomb it, we know that you are most likely unable to move your queen. Do you wish your entire hive to collapse in this war?
No, we don't.
Then do you surrender unconditionally?
With a heavy heart, we will surrender unconditionally. Yes.
Very well. We have already made our terms and our goals clear from the beginning of this war. We have laid claim to a number of systems within your north to act as a buffer should you attempt to attack again. That is all we wish from the war, as we believe that, well, those who have been taken are long gone by now.
Yeah.
The Divergency demands 3 things. First off, we demand an apology for the lives lost in the bombing of our world on Riak. We demand proper recompense for expenditures in this war, with war reparations. And we demand the systems of Saped and Rabinok, as well as Bellatrix, to be demilitarized and for you to move out of those regions.
Demilitarization means that I'm just gonna...
No, you don't control those systems. And
Okay.
yeah.
You're not giving them to him, you're just not.
Well, you will delete the star bases there, and then we'll keep it empty. And I'll have to talk to Cameron about not just eating it like he does everything.
Okay. All right, we accept those terms of surrender.
Very well.
Very well.
I
We
will
shall
press the
send.
button.
I'll send over.
And
the-
lastly, this should go without saying, but I will express it in the treaty just so it's utterly clear. You will also return the shells of the humans you have taken and created, and in the future, you will never, ever incorporate forcefully or otherwise in Arcalan.
We accept.
Very well.
I don't know about you, but I believe this was a fine endeavor. We're so glad that you threatened us.
Very well. This is a heavy day for my swarm.
Research.
Think upon your
Yes.
actions. This could all have been avoided if you did not take what was not yours. You desecrated my species and you have paid the price. I would ask you to always remember that when you think to take advantage of our people and our federation ever again.
Yes,
Well spoken.
we will.
Very well spoken.
So it was Zappert and Bellatrix, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just delete those and then we'll keep it demilitarized. I'll send an ambassador. I'm gonna go talk to Cameron. I also would really like him not to eat like the whole western part of this galaxy, but
Yeah, I spoke to him. He's ideally, if he actually got the message, he's not going to start swallowing up that chunk of it.
did he get debuffed a bit from like wasn't he making like 1,200 alloys a day?
Yeah, I worked out something with him.
Cool.
I'll send you the exact details of it at some point.
No,
if you're
you
interested.
don't have to. It's whatever. I just want to make sure that he at least got talked to about that.
Yeah, don't worry.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why
System survey.
he made the L-gate thing,
Gotcha.
because he's going to have to,
Research
keep that thing chugging for a good few years, which is going to put a strain on his economy. Well,
Yeah.
not quite a strain. I mean, it's, you know what I mean.
Yes.
It is a non-profit action that will only affect his economy and his tech level. All of that being said, I believe anyone may now enter into the L-gate.
Trade authority.
Yeah. Oh, he is encroaching upon my territory as well now.
I'm gonna go talk to him real quick about that zone.
Yep.
Sounds good.
survey concluded.
Cameron, out of roleplay really quickly.
Shit, okay, ignore me.
1 second. Out of roleplay really quickly. The Sapad, Bellatrix, Rabanok, and Ishnor systems are going to be demilitarized in a peace treaty. So in the roleplay, there are ships in those regions, so you can't just colonize them. But like, it's a demilitarized zone, so just heads up.
Where?
To where you're expanding really quickly, that area.
I've stopped my expansion eastward.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bellatrix, Rabanok, Sapad, and Ishnor systems, they're not going to have anyone on them, but they're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
not just, there's ships there. So if you try to establish a station, you'd either get fired upon or,
Yeah, okay, cool.
Cool.
I
Just
won't
making
do
sure.
It just specializes like what type of religion or general theme your spiritualist empire falls around. Whilst I wasn't, before I was in the cult of knowledge, which provides materialist attraction, research speed, obviously, and oh god, what's the other one? I think it's like a decreased naval capacity. Either way. I changed it over to the Cult of War, which means that like my shipyards are decorated with ornate carvings. My ships go out with lit candles upon their bows, that sort of stuff. We have a religious reverence for war at the moment.
Ah, okay, I see. So
Yeah, it's just like extra, ship attack speed and stuff. And plus,
Construction project
Yeah.
concluded.
because my army isn't that weak, like you just manhandled that army like it's. So I was kind of wondering.
Also, is
Yeah.
there something you
Don't
guys
worry.
want to have like roleplay wise talk in the channel? Because like
Yeah.
I'm unable to go to a different one. Just heads up.
Construction
oh god, yeah, of course. Sorry, I'll booble off somewhere else.
No worries. Just
Thanks for
you know,
reminding me, Ham.
yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Cool. I don't want to be an asshole, but also they're doing other roleplay talks in my VC. All right, so this war obviously was achieved. In it, we suffered quite a lot of casualties. Our world of Riok, which was a colony, was bombed dramatically. We lost a couple pops in there too, I think. And we have received the people back from the war, which we'll cover in just a moment. Get another Ascension perk. I'm waiting to do the mega structure ones. We're going to build some really big things. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to write out a post about it, is... I'll write it as I go here.
Survey concluded.
Make sure the economy's doing fine. Yeah, it's all right. So in that war, the war was essentially started because some of our people were forcefully incorporated. And the Xeltek swarm is such that once they get the genetic material of another species, they could basically make a lot more of them. So they made a bunch of like Arcalans, but they're more like husks. I mean, they weren't really our people, but they kind of were because it was genetic material. But they were empty. They were part of like the hive mind. So they've been returned to us. So we're going to deal with that now. Colin. Celtic
Systems
War.
survey concluded.
After a drawn-out war that led to the bombing of a planet, the loss of the Arcalan First Fleet, the tide of we are victorious.
Initial
It was a
colonization
hard-fought war
all systems known.
that would not have been won without the aid of our allies and Federation members. Fuck. The Xeltek swarm is unlike anything our species ever faced, including the enemy. Their ships and drones acted in a uniform manner that made them equally absolute in will
Research concluded.
and able to fight to the death. Our rebuilt fleet, combined with the secondary corps, managed to win a decisive battle with our allies in the, what's the system name? So I gotta make sure I'm keeping up on research here. In the Demon system, where the Xeltek Armada was beaten decisively,
Initial colonization phase complete.
with the only guard to the capital world and their queen gone. The swarm agreed to unconditional surrender. As part of the peace treaty, the POC took a number
An alien
of
empire
worlds
established communications.
and systems they lay claim to. For our part, the Arcalan, or the Divergency, demanded a demilitarized space in the south and the reparations for the lives lost and resources spent, as well as the return of the Arcalan drones. Our species is defined by our individual merit and purpose. To have one of our blood and bone born out of a collective devoid of will and individuality goes against everything we are. The returned Arcalan thrones were executed and utterly destroyed. Which, alongside the treaty banning more being created, will end the desecration of our race. Let this war, this federation, and this act make clear our resolute purpose and nature.
Spaceports sustaining damage.
Are we getting attacked right now? Someone's now pirates, fucking hell. We don't have a fleet back here either. I'll make one really quickly. Alrighty. I'm going for a sparkling water chug with my points. Fuck yeah. Okay. I switched it back, right? Yes, I did. So, what we really need to be dealing with now that the war is done is the economic crisis. Nawater, our old... Goddamn chug. Our old Princip Nawater, who was one of the... what is the species here called? Albanians, did her best to try and stabilize the economy of our species, or rather now, our civilization. But in many ways, kind of only delayed the bigger problem. So what we really need to focus on in the coming days is the buildup of a stable economy where our resources are not being imported. We also need to build a new science world. We have many planets now, but our science is really beginning to fall behind the rest of the galaxy. It is stabilized due to the research pact we have with our allies, the Puck, but that's the only thing keeping
It's
us.
like Bloody Mary. Every
Sorry?
time I hear you talk, I can always hear my name.
You can hear your what? Sorry?
I was making a joke. Every time I join, I seem to hear you talking about me.
Oh, yeah. That's all I
It's like
do.
Bloody Mary.
That's all I do. Nothing else.
Yeah, literally just came in to say that the reason that we're paused at the moment is because, for literally no reason, my Stellaris crashed.
Oh shit. Okay, sounds good.
Sorry for everyone watching.
Alright, it's a
Oh,
paradox. It's a paradox
rename
multiplayer, my man. You got to
Yeah.
expect it.
It's held together with duct tape and a prayer.
Literally.
Duct tape, prayer, and spaghetti code.
Exactly. Made by a programming team from every corner of the planet.
Yes, yeah. Right, I'll pimple off back to my area and leave you to chat.
Sounds good. No, you're fine. We'll make a new science plan. I'll do that in a minute. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Hello. This is a drone from the Celtic Swan. We are here to speak to you about the reparations you are demanding.
Completely forgot I made coffee. What's up, Viking? What have I done to myself? I sheared myself like a sheep and it was horrible. Had to be done, unfortunately, but I am growing a longer beard again. Don't worry. Oh. Okay. Some good coffee. Some damn good coffee. It's all in the creamer. You know, just saying. Jesus. Hope everyone is having a good day, by the way. I did finally get a stream schedule out. I only realized like a day or two ago that I hadn't put out a stream schedule all week, so I did get that fixed today. Someone from the Swarm came by. Thank you, Faceless. We'll go talk with them in a second. Yeah, I did not realize that. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate that. Oh, it's a Galactic community meeting.
I will be back. I'm just going through to grab anyone who might have missed it.
Or something's going down. We're getting into the point where there's just so many things
So
to...
you're probably wondering why I gathered you here today. We face a terrible evil. Hammurabae. We must strike him down with a pure and righteous anger.
If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
I came back to Ham apparently trying to declare himself King of Mordor. Well, I believe there's a very important proposal upon the galactic community at the moment, and it was very kindly brought to my attention by the Cerberus Protocol. Shall we enable veto power for members of the Galactic Council? Now, whilst I personally believe that this is a horrendous idea, it is each individual's decision to put their faith
They're
in
really
a higher
proposing
power
veto
that does
power?
not care or, well, generally want you around. Outside of that, if anyone wishes to speak upon the matter of veto power for Galactic Council members, I suggest you send a message now and we shall bring you up to speak. Yes. Very well, Divergency.
You all know who I am and who I represent. The Divergency bears the galactic community in very little liking. What we have seen from it is exactly what the Cerberus Protocol dictated when we first met. Corruption, domineering, and the more powerful species of the galaxy using that power to exert unreasonable influence. The creation of the Council was a mistake, and I will say yet again, the Divergency does not acknowledge its authority. What you are now proposing is nothing more than an act of tyranny. The rights of the few, no matter how powerful they may be, to veto the will and the purpose of all the rest of the galaxy is unacceptable. the Divergency calls on every single member of the galactic community to think about what is truly being proposed. If the powerful can veto the actions of the many, what purpose is our voice in being here? Why do we have the community? Why would we not simply have the Council of the Powerful Nations dictating whatever they wish to the whole galaxy? We reject this utterly. And if this is chosen, the Divergency may consider leaving the galactic community and would call upon all of us to consider doing the same. Do not let this fall to corruption and to tyranny. That is all.
Although it is most certainly not my place to interrupt such a fine speaker, I would like to say that I support the actions of the Divergency, and if they do wish to leave the galactic community, we shall follow alongside them. They have not failed us yet, and as such, we shall follow their lead. That being said, I believe the Cerberus Protocol
Yeah,
wishes
sure,
to speak
Condor.
upon the
Sorry to
matter.
hear that, man. Yeah, I'm happy.
Please.
What's your cat say? But I have a ship class after.
Yes. We find it amusing how the proponents of this bill have tried to keep it away from prying eyes, from having such an important proposition not being brought up before the General Assembly, only discussed in small groups. Given this, of course, it's quite obvious that this galactic community cannot accept, I believe, that only one power among a few select could dictate or so greatly influence the path of the entire galaxy. Of course, we wish this bill to not pass, to be rejected by this galactic community, and we also, alongside the Divergency, would leave the galactic community if this bill would pass. The galactic community would no longer represent the will of our government, and it is disagreeable in quite a few ways. We have done quite a bit of calculations based on different outcomes by our all-powerful AI, and the galaxy will surely fall asunder if only one nation would be able to veto anything. Thank you for letting us speak.
And a fine speech it was. As much as it pains me to say this, as dishonorable as you are, Xeltek, your voice does matter within this galactic community. We invite you to speak now, so we may hear your chortling and chattering.
Oh, Puck, never change. This is a drone which has been bred specifically for diplomatic matters. We denounce this veto pact and act and bill, and therefore we will vote veto against this. We are not here for getting commanded around by machines, which we find disgusting and the perverse of nature, and also not commanded around by our enemies, the Puck and the Arcala. Therefore,
Charming.
oh, wait, the Queen is dying. Ugh.
We shall be sending scouts to hopefully clean up whatever sludge this Queen has produced. Other than that, I believe that... Oh, excuse me, I appear to have lost my files. I believe the Elysium Collective wish to speak on the matter.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm by no means a chairman, simply one who wishes to organize these meetings.
All right. Well, I think our opinion is the same as the empires that have spoken before us. We have been advocating against the enacting of the council from the start, and in the past we have seen all the effects in the galaxy. They have caused chaos and misfortune everywhere. And this is merely the next step to the absolute power the council wants to have. If this if this would be to enact it, the state of the galaxy would be chaotic. It indicates just conflicts and problems everywhere, and we must insist that everybody denies this motion. And the next step would be the enacting of the resolve of the council, which was a mistake in the first place. Thank you.
A fine
Losing.
speech. That being said, I believe that Kul Urang, the Harbinger, wished to speak. A while since I've heard from him, so I hope that they are all right. Please, if you wish to speak, bring yourself up now.
We find that the galactic community, as I have drones outside, we will not allow this galactic meeting to continue anymore. We are staging a diplomatic protest, and we will also be staging a sit-in. As you can see, the drones are now walking into the galactic meeting. We will not leave until this galactic corruption is ousted and the galactic community of which it has become corrupted will be disbanded.
Security!
No, you cannot touch us. We will spit at you.
Yes. There's no change there, is there?
Hud. It will now become a riot.
What's up, Zodi? Just now?
I do believe that the recent guards fall under the jurisdiction of an empire who wishes to speak. Scythe, Masuka.
With the Fifth Clash and Sacred Union, originally thought that it might be good to have veto powers to remove the unnecessary motions, but your words have convinced us otherwise. We will be moving to pause the current resolution, and we wish to offer up troops for proper security and future council sessions.
A much appreciated offer given the rather large disgrace that the previous collective forced upon us. Should be an embarrassment for all years to come. If any others wish to speak, do so now. Otherwise, I believe that this meeting has made itself quite clear as to what the desired outcome is. No? Meeting adjourned then. I suggest that everyone begin their voting.
Well, it got defeated. It's not going to pass, thankfully. The council's gotten way too much power, and they're all not really friendly with us, so we need to start probably getting more involved in galactic politics, specifically to stop the encroachment of the council, which is becoming a real big problem. As soon as the game loads, I get back into it, we're going to go probably talk to some people. Sober Scotsman? That speaker was just hatched and brought their kale-filled water bottle to the debate. Fuck, we have a desync. Cerberus is still for it, the Machine Tribes are still for it, because they're both on the council. We really need to get our tech level up. We're quite far behind. The Arcala Divergency. It's a digging divergence. Yeah, they're all just minor unions. We're just like a giant minor union. Yeah, we did get a desync. We might have to do a rehost, which is really unfortunate. Not what we need to be dealing with right now. I meant your stream title. I think you made a typo. Probably. I do it quite often. Divergency. Yeah, you're right. Listen. Spelling is hard, and it doesn't come naturally, so I'm doing the best I can out here, alright?
Research concluded.
I guess we're just gonna keep going. Sounds good. Alright, we have to get the economy under control. That war, although it put us in a much better strategical position and allowed the rebuilding of our fleets to be quite powerful, did unfortunately result in our economy becoming very lopsided, as the resources we had to bring to bear to maintain our fleets were considerable. At this point, our pinnacle duty as Princip, Alexander Cousin, is to get the economy back on track. So his traits is Corvette focused, fortifier, and expansionist. So although we're going to work on the economy, we're also going to be concerned with expanding very quickly into more systems, as well as building up our great stations, which we use to protect the periphery of the Divergency. You should double down and call it real play. A Stellaris EU4 campaign is longer for multiplayer. EU4, if you do a full game at EU4, it's longer. Then again, with mods and Stellaris, and if you choose to go a long time and not just conquer the whole galaxy, it can go for a while too, but I'd probably say EU4 from my own experience. But again, it depends on who you're playing with and other factors, of course. We also have a duel with another empire that's been agreed to, which should be happening very soon here. We were challenged to a fight to the death, one of our champions with the Sajakar, due to the diplomatic tensions that appeared between us. The Sajakar sent us a communication to the whole galaxy, demanding a trial by combat between one of their great warriors and one of ours as well. So we will have to meet in the space between on our border here, and we're gonna fight a duel to the death, one of our champions and theirs, which will be coming up very soon.
Research concluded.
I want to take a moment to get things kind of back on track here, because I struggle with multitasking. I can't really do diplomacy and work on like microing an empire, so we'll do that. Then we need to go talk to the Puck as well, like about getting a unified front in the galactic community against further rapid expansion of power by the council, which is proving to be a real issue. Yeah, a lot of EU players dropped out. To be fair, the EU4 game's quality really went downhill. Staff has been talking about it. It's become much more casual. I'm kind of starting to lose interest in it as well, after some of the shit I've seen in Asia. But we've got some things in motion right now for future games and stuff we're gonna do. We need to get the exotic gas and general special material production under control. Living metals, I don't think we'll be able to actively produce, so we'll probably have to always buy that. We are in a surplus of everything except for nanites and living material now, or living metal.
Construction project concluded.
How are we losing them? That I don't understand. We have a lot of jobs and not enough people to fill them. That is the main issue right now. We also have synthetic robots, so let's go ahead and...
Research concluded.
What do we have for their rights right now? We'll go for statecraft, since we're becoming more involved in galactic affairs.
Construction project concluded. An alien empire has established communications. System survey concluded.
Servitude. What are our ethics? We're competitive and we're egalitarian, and we're fanatic materialist.
System survey.
Which I think would justify us probably there being a reform push to, like, get robots' rights within our borders. That's a complicated one. I'm trying to find if any of our... The Committee of Advanced Science is our biggest faction within the Divergency now. So we kind of got to think about this. Having a research institute on the Capitol, we could build that. It'll be a good way to get some support from them as the biggest faction. That would be worthwhile. We haven't really taken the time to actively sit down and try and work with the factions that are beginning to have more and more powerful as the Confederacy becomes more commonplace in everyday life. I think in many ways our people would not be used to like semi-democratic systems, so they're kind of adjusting to being able to actually have a voice in government.
Initial colonization phase complete.
They're not advocating for synthetic rights, though. They want indirect xenology, which we're not going to do. They're alien tolerance. They're really powerful in our government, though. It's equality of opportunities. Resettlement. Sure, we can afford it. What's up, Jimmy? Good to hear from you, man.
Survey concluded.
We're doing a lot of internal politicking at the moment to try and get all of our factions behind our government. We do private education. I forget how much this mod, one of the mods were doing ads. Public education, public health care, market economy. We'll go to civilian economy since I haven't looked at these since we went to the Confederacy. So we would have been changing a lot of these policies. We'll increase the minimum wage. We have the labor rights as one of our main current factions in government, so that makes sense.
Research concluded.
Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Chillin', finishing up my thesis proposal. Nice, man. How much work do you have left on it? All right.
Research concluded.
Should be able to do private factories. There we go. All right, I know how we're gonna roleplay this out. I'm just thinking about it. We're gonna do this over a period of time.
Research concluded.
Alright, we're stabilized. I'm gonna write out a roleplay post for this. Got most of it done. I do my defense in a couple of weeks and I get to actually start my thesis. Hell yeah. I'm sure that'll go solid for you. Okay. Societal. Wait, what would we call it? Ethical debates underway in Divergency's parliament. As the people of the Divergency grow more used to the newfound voice they have, the unruly and combative nature of the Arcalans is beginning to make itself known. There are many groups that now hold great status and power on the capital homeworld, all vying for their priorities to be taken under the focus of the council. The Princip is actively seeking to work with the more powerful groups as the economic policy changes have made many grow bolder with their demands. Let me make sure my empire's not just burning as we're doing this. There we go. Cool. There is a growing debate and outcry over the widespread usage of synthetics. Was a time in the recent past where there was no debate or question over the lack of intelligence and soul within the machine. Recent breakthroughs in AI tech and their use in all machines have made many within the Divergency begin to demand rights for organic and synthetic alike. The current Princip is entirely opposed to this concept, being an old-fashioned man and a former admiral, being huge security issues involved with such dramatic proposal. Let's see, when's the next election? 28. Elections are only 2 years away. And it is expected that this topic will define the debates and most voters come election day. The morality and future of the Divergency is at stake. Your thesis is using cellular automata with agent-based modeling to predict and design cities for future environmental sustainability. You want to describe that for someone who was not a STEM major ever? Because I'm curious. It sounds really interesting. That's like I gotta find a piece of art. There's one I'm thinking of right now.
Research included.
Yeah, why is this so hard to find? He's saying clean your room. Is that Jordan Peterson talking to me? Listen, you need to be like the crabs that clean your room, or the elite liberals will fucking. There's a video I want to play actually. That reminds me. Hold on, I see if I find a picture really quickly. God damn it! Stop giving me Shutterstock images. That'll work. God damn it. It's a GIF file! God damn it! Bear with me. Fucking hate GIF files. There we go, that's a JPEG. Dear friends, we have news, frightening news that has shaken the very foundation of our collective to its core. When next available by Secret Council, we believe we may have found an explanation of our strange abilities, and it is grounded much within your reality rather than our own. I'm afraid, and I'm afraid for my people. Alright, well we have to go talk to the puck, clearly. What's a lollipop? Greetings! I do apologize, I was called here very late, as it is in election season, and I've been campaigning. What can I do for you, my friend?
Of course. My empire is on the brink of damn collapse.
Collapse? Due to what?
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. As you know, we have recently uncovered some recent capabilities within our cybernetic units.
Indeed.
And they are able to help amplify our magical abilities. And so, a group of our scientists wanted to understand why. But, oh god. They detected small particles within the air. These particles, upon closer examination, appeared to be small machines.
In the air?
Using the recent... Yes, the air within our space. They... After a lot of study and a lot of research over the past few years, we believe that we may not have abilities at all. We believe that our current abilities are simply misuse of these industrial strength particulates, which are actually just nanites.
Your species then is able to control nanites in the air of your systems?
No. I apologize. We have found remnants upon our moon of ancient munitions rounds, which indicates the presence of a war that has already existed. We have nothing in the war of our current record, which indicates that we got blasted back to the Stone Age at some point.
The Tomb Worlds, indeed.
Yes. Within our genetic code is a number of distinct markers. We believe that these nanites may be searching for these markers within our genetic code before taking action upon our will. They are only responding to us because we are descendants of something that used them. We have no powers. We're just using the equivalent of a fancy mop. There's been uproar among the scholars.
This sounds to be... It's gonna have to make your species dramatically rethink their nature. Something
Yes.
We also have a recent history with. Is there anything we can do for you?
Merely a voice to speak to.
Of course,
That'd
that
be
we're
more
happy
than
to
enough.
give.
Thank you. We appreciate it very dearly.
We always had wondered how you had those abilities, but things are always more complex than they seem.
The worry for us is we believe that these abilities to be restricted to the individual, but if an entity is capable of sufficiently advanced genetic engineering they will be able to use everything we have and more. We cannot reach that level. We simply do not have the progress, the hard science of it.
It seems to me that your scientists have a great undertaking in front of them.
Oh, yes, yes.
Any research that the Divergency is able to allocate to you, we are of course happy to do so.
We very much appreciate that, but, well, to put it in terms of the more common species in the Empire, I believe we're about to go through an industrial revolution.
How do you mean?
Now that we truly understand how our abilities work, we can use them better. We can, not to mention our recent breaches into the Shroud.
I understand.
I woke up this morning with a paper upon my desk of concepts to physically mine the Shroud for its base resources. I mean, something like this has never
Mine
been
the
attempted.
Shroud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what we have heard from the Sejakar, that place is incredibly dangerous. I would caution you to
yes,
be very
but
careful in such a thing.
The resources that we could gather from it are unbelievable. I mean, the single structure that they've presented to me now would be capable of producing upwards of 30 alloy units per month and 5 Zro, an essential resource in many of our manufacturers, not to mention the new cybernetic components that can be fabricated.
I, of course, will support and encourage you to do whatever you feel is necessary. But again, I will say, caution is always the wise choice.
Yes.
Not to sound like a broken record, but our species, as you know, has a long history of dealing with the unexpected. And we always propose caution.
Yes. You were very wise to do so. I apologize for calling you in here so suddenly, but
No, this is a very dramatic moment in the history of the puck. We are simply glad that you wish to share with us.
well, of course, you've been by our side so as long as we have crawled out of the mud.
And you have been the first and greatest friend we have met in this galaxy. One we were not prepared for, but it is a welcome surprise, of course.
Right. I shall leave you to get back to your communicators now.
Very well.
Sorry for
I will
bothering you.
make you aware of two things before I leave. We are currently
course.
undergoing elections. I will, of course, be running for Princip again. But I do warn you, in the polls, it's not looking good for me. There is a great debate underway in the Divergency regarding the new AI synthetics, which are now becoming commonplace throughout the Divergency. Many suggest that they are alive. They have a soul and intelligence, and I suppose in some ways I can't deny that, though I do fear the consequences of giving them enumerated citizen rights within the Divergency. I am running on a policy being opposed to giving synthetics rights, but I'll be honest, in the polls it appears that I may not win. I simply wish to make you aware of this
In the kindest of
situation.
diplomatic terms, I would like to remind you that upwards of 23% of our collective is robotic in nature.
Indeed.
Synthetics make up a
it appears,
fundamental
though,
part of our people.
It appears, though, that the people feel similarly to your own. I am no longer required to hold office. I'll be returning to the Admiralty. I believe that Ferida Water has been elected for a second term. I'm sure you remember her.
Yes, she was... well...
It was an honor to fight in the great Xeltek Puck Divergency War. I will forever remember our time spent together in driving back the enemy, my friend. We will speak again
And
one
I shall
day.
tell my children of you.
Let name and history define our deeds together. Farewell.
Farewell.
Of course, it's for the super rich. Saudi Arabia and other oil rich nations in the Middle East have been doing that for the past couple years. I'm creating code to put into the ArcGIS Pro to run simulations that are calibrated with historical data to show that the simulation works accurately, and then simulate different scenarios to show how cities can plan to be more
Environmentally sustainable. Using simulations to define environmental friendly cities. That's really cool, Jimmy. Goddamn, man. That is really cool. I hope that goes well for you. I'm sure it will, but goddamn, man.
Isn't there a group trying to build a self-sustaining and low-footprint city?
There's a couple being planned, I believe. I would say create a revolution before they cause a revolution. Kill fire with fire. Yeah, I shaved the beard. I see. What's up, man? The beard is absent. I am regrowing it though. America's very behind in this kind of research. Most of the literature that I have been going off of is from China, Germany, Japan, and a few others. Really, to be fair, the oil lobby's kind of seen to that. Let's be honest. So I'm not surprised, but that's a shame. The shroud is dark and full of terror. Is true. You know, that's really cool, man. Way over my head kind of shit, but very cool. So I wish you the best of that, man. That's a really, like, noble thing to be researching and trying to help improve, you know? We'll build another research lab in the capital. Ruling elite. Okay, so we now have Fear No Water back for her second term. She's a champion of the people, she's charismatic, and she's an industrialist. She held office for a full term before this, but lost in her re-election against Princip Alexander, who was just in charge due to the upcoming war. Now that the people of the Divergency have seen us win the war of the Swarm, they now want an economic future. One where we become much more competitive on the galactic scale, as we are becoming a much larger player. Fear No Water has been elected by both her own people, the Albanians, who completely voted for her, but also by many Arcalans, because they trust in Fear No Water to be able to maintain a strong economy. She was the one that balanced our economy when things were looking very bleak, and she'll undoubtedly do so again. So her focus will be on the development of a much stronger, sustainable economy, and to probably expand at a very slow and steady rate. So we'll be looking to do that. Latium Prime is going to become a research planet as well. We have a lot of jobs and very few people to fill them at this point. Most of our planets just have a huge excess. If we can get the consumer good issue stabilized, we're going to be able to implement a much higher quality of life for our citizens. Something Fear No Water would definitely advocate for, given her more ethical and consumer-based approach towards governance. Oh, this is a good one. The isolated incidents of spontaneous prolonged dancing on Diathnia Prime have escalated somewhat, and groups of hundreds of our colons are now compulsively dancing in a variety of different styles. Surprisingly, even those that have shown much interest in dancing are suddenly able to perform expert moves, and the old amongst them have rediscovered the vigor of their youth. Although many residents are jokingly referring to it as the dancing plague, it is no joking manner. The dancers show no concern for their bodily needs and risk dancing themselves to death. We're going to go ahead and try and stop that, obviously. That seems very dangerous. Fear No Water also, in terms of her foreign policy, will be, I wouldn't say isolationist, but she's not, like, going to be advocating for a stronger galactic community. If anything, she will probably spearhead the drive I want us to do in the galaxy to basically try and take power away from the galactic community and disperse it. Because obviously we are very distrustful of the galactic community, as it's only been used as kind of a very corrupt tool of the powerful so far, which in all reality is exactly how that would be used, let's be honest, but still. I do need to take a piss again, I'll be right back. I've been incredibly hydrated lately.
An alien empire has established communications.
Hey, sorry, out of context. The reason that we're paused at the moment is because my Stellaris crashed again. I don't know why I did it. I think it's just the server's playing silly buggers today. Either way, I'm loading back in now. Also, if you can hear me, hi chat.
That was longer than expected. What's up, Joey? What's up, Canadian? Let's talk with my aunt. Sorry about that. She's about to go on a hiking trip for the next, I think, 3 days or so. She's going out to Pennsylvania and doing a hike in the woods, so I was talking a bit with her before she leaves. Because I think she's going to leave probably when I'm still streaming.
Special project concluded.
Dancing pathogen isolated. Wonderful. Our researchers have succeeded in isolating the cause of the dancing incidents on Diathne Prime. It appears the culprit is a gas released by the local vegetation. This gas induces feelings of exhilaration and an irresistible urge to dance,
An alien empire.
while suppressing fatigue. It seems to be fairly benign, however, as the colonists' self-preservation instincts prevent them from literally dancing themselves to death. Furthermore, our scientists have developed a synthetic gas that, once released into the air, will neutralize the effects of the dancing gas. Local entrepreneurs suggest that we preserve the unique character of the colony by allowing the gas free reign in certain areas, provided a safe space for young and old alike to experience the eternal party of the Diathne Prime. That does sound like a lot of fun, not gonna lie. Others point out that this gas has certain valuable properties we could make use of. We'll do party fever. It's a party planet now. That's where the fuck boys of the Divergency go to party. And the fuck girls. And the fuck aliens. I don't know, something like that. All of the above. Ah, I see I'm not alone in here.
Yeah, sorry.
Greetings!
Greetings. Sorry, you. Out of context, I just wanted to come in and say that the reason that we paused for a bit was just because of my internet.
No worries, man. I was downstairs talking with my aunt anyway, so it is all good.
Yeah, I know, because when I came in, you were gone.
Yeah.
Right, I shall leave you be then. Sorry about that.
No worries, man. Froggy's so fucking polite, man. He'll like come in just to like tell you something important. He's like, oh, I do apologize. It's like, dog. Fucking hell. So polite. It's ridiculous. So the economy is stabilized. We now have a huge surplus of energy, a very large surplus of minerals, a very solid food surplus, and we finally have balanced out our consumer good production, which means that for the first time, and again quite a while, under the ever-wise leadership of No Water, we have a very powerful economy, which we will seek to grow upon. We must continue to expand at a steady pace. We will need to build up our industrial worlds more to produce more goods. And and then we need to also get another research planet, or more research facilities, broadly speaking, throughout the Divergency, as we are still quite a ways behind in terms of tech, I believe. Oh yeah, we're literally half of the Puck's tech right now, so we got a lot of work to do on that account. My allergies have been really bad the last couple days. All right. So with the Fear No Water coming to power, since she is a champion of the people and ran opposed to Prince Alexander, I think it is time for us to formally give rights to synthetic machines.
Construction project concluded.
Because she would, since she ran against him, she would obviously have used that as a polarizing issue to get a lot of the Arcalans to vote for her. So, for artificial intelligence will be given full citizen rights. What's up, morally unaccepting? My non-existent god. You need that beard, mate. Yeah, I know. I know.
Construction project.
I have two options. One, I get very fit, and I get a really low body fat, and then I have a really good jawline. Or two, I grow a beard to hide my jawline being hidden. So yeah, I need to build the beard. I need to grow the beard back, but it'll take a little while. We're gonna turn this into a mining planet. Ooh, that's a shame. One of our absolutely fantastic scientists we got from the Caravaneers many years ago has died. And again, we immediately find ourselves with a genius again.
Horizons expanded.
We are working on a jump drive as well. At some point we will need to send a fleet to deal with that dimensional horror. I do want to upgrade that into a citadel. We'll have to wait. Be patient on that one.
System survey concluded.
Aculum is such an important station. Let's we'll build defensive platforms later when we can afford it. What's up, Lollipop? How's it going with the empire you're building? Going really good. The roleplay's been really interesting so far. We've gotten quite powerful, but the economy has kind of been very shaky for a while. It's looking really good right now.
Construction project complete.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Enjoyed it a lot. How you doing, Lollipop? How's life going? Hope you're doing good. Hope all is well. Hope you're staying cool in all this heat, which appears to be pretty much planet-wide at this point.
System survey concluded.
It's definitely not related to global warming. Can you build tall in Stellaris? Yes and no. It's against the AI, if you know what you're doing, it is viable. Against players, not really. A good player will defeat you if they build wide, because you can build wide and tall, but building explicitly tall, you can do it and not die, but a good player who doesn't go tall will pretty much always beat you, from my understanding.
Construction project complete.
What's up, Dragon? Little sick, but fine. Killing time on games and watching you. I feel it. Feel it. Hope you feel better. I got a little secret for you on how to, like, not feel so bad when you're sick. If you're congested. This is my favorite thing to do when I get sick and I get congested. Put hot sauce into your nostrils. I know that sounds like a crazy person thing, but it works. If you ever get congested when you're sick, put hot sauce right at like the end of like your nasal canal, and it will clear you up so fucking quick.
Construction project concluded.
A little bit of advice there.
Construction project concluded.
I'm a licensed doctor, so I get to say that. Not really, obviously. I can't say that on streaming, can I? Not a doctor. Oh, we actually do have living metal there. I did not realize that. That is very needed.
Construction project concluded.
Which brand of hot sauce? Now, that's up to you. I tend to use sriracha personally, but it's entirely up to you. So you've basically made China powerful, but with an economy balanced on a sand pillar. Economically, yes. I mean, everything's there. Like, the real estate bubble's also there, in that we have a bunch of, like, living facilities and buildings which are completely just uninhabited, and will probably be uninhabited for quite a while. Which will, if this was realistic, result in a huge economic collapse. Though, to be fair, hopefully all of the Arcalan's fucking retirement funds are not based in real estate. Otherwise, we'll complete the Chinese model and just collapse. Have y'all been watching that, by the way? China's looking pretty hairy economically right now. They're like a fucking greedy Icarus. They flew way too close to the GDP sun, and they've been burned quite badly and may fall. That's been really interesting to kind of watch over the last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see how bad that will hit them. It'll hit them. The question is just how bad. Oh, we're getting raided. You have many enemies. They don't like you very much. Even pay us to bash your systems. Alright, they're gonna send a raiding fleet to attack us. If we concentrate all of our forces together, we may be able to push them back. We'll see. Peppermint essential oil does the same trick to clear congestion. That's fair. I've never used that. That sounds like a much less painful way to do it, but the grand game in a galactic dance of civilizations. It's how we move our pieces, how we will prosper or perish. We're playing the great game now. Speaking of which, we have to go talk with a few people about that in just a moment. As there are many things that we need to start doing that we're not currently. I mean, that's always the case when you're running a nation or civilization, I suppose. Alright, we have jobs on all of our planets for the most part. We actually have a housing crisis. And we're fine job-wise everywhere else. Wonderful. Dealing with that. We can make a megastructure, I think. Orbital ring. We're gonna go ahead and build an orbital ring around our capital. We'll get that project underway in just a moment. We'll let our resources build up while we go and talk to the puck.
Construction project concluded.
So that's a done deal already, just a matter of time. Yep. In the past 10 years, they will also experience a pretty bad worker shortage. There's a lot of problems that are coming to a cusp right now for China, and they're going to really struggle to get out of it. I hope that the many problems they're about to face will result in potentially some reforms in China, but I doubt it. Let's see. They'll probably just be really brutal.
Construction project concluded.
Greetings! I am Fear in the Water. I believe we have spoken, though it's been many years.
Garner, how the devil are you?
Quite well, thank you. After serving the Divergency as requested in that election and losing, I went back to Isius and continued to build up my company there, which has seen a lot of prosperity. I am proud to say that Isius is now one of the most prosperous trading systems in the whole Divergency. But yet again, I am called to great office, as there are many problems within the Divergency, and the people have seen fit to elect me to solve them.
System survey concluded.
Wonderful, wonderful. You shall have to excuse our talks. There is a...
Construction project concluded.
Oh, well, it's not doing it now, but there's a rather loud animal outside.
Ah, of course.
So I have to call the pest controller. Oh, no, there it is.
Is that your own, or is that another dog?
No, that's another dog.
Ah,
It's the neighbors. They never fucking trained it, so it just yells its head off.
some dogs are like that. They just never shut up, too.
Yep.
Yep.
So, sorry about this.
No worries, no worries. Diplomatic communication problems are an innate part of these long-range communications like this.
Yes, of course.
Perhaps I will make a visit to your planet in the future where we can talk in a more intimate fashion.
That may be for the best.
Concluded.
I should say you're always welcome within our company.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear it coming from you. I am here to discuss a very important matter. I ran on several main points. I ran on giving legal citizen rights to synthetics, which have an intelligence just like us. I ran upon the rebuilding of our economy, which has fallen due to the war that we perpetrated together against the Swarm.
Of course.
And I also ran on becoming a much more hardline supporter in the devolution of the Galactic Council and the reining in of the authority of the galactic community, which is why I'm here to speak with you.
Yes, please go on.
It is the opinion of my administration and my staff, and of course myself, that we must become much more active in galactic politics as friends, as Federation members, and as a civilized species and gathering of minds. We must begin to approach the other members of the galactic community and convince them of the folly of the galactic community having such unrestricted power and the Council's tyranny. I would like to discuss with you the possibility of our Federation sending out envoys to some of the, shall we say, more on the fence members of the galactic community to create a unified front against any further centralization of the galactic community and a united front against the supposed total power of the council.
Well, that's certainly a wonderful idea. However, the actual act in practice would be difficult. I mean, we've had our difficulties with the Cerberus Defense Code in the past, and I highly doubt they'll have changed their tune by now.
They are too entrenched within the corrupt systems of the community to even be considered. There are many members who not. Basically, anyone not on the council, my diplomatic corps has told me is at least potentially open to our talks with them. I also believe that there is a duel that will be had very soon with the Xeltek, and as soon as that is concluded, we will use that as an opportunity to discuss with them this proposal, as they are an honorable people, and I suspect would be open to it.
Very well, we shall trust you upon this matter. You haven't mislaid our trust before.
If you would be willing to approach several other members of the galactic community and begin talks with them regarding this issue, we would be very appreciative of your actions.
We would be happy to. However, we should warn you that, well, much of our empire is going through a large resurgence of belief. I mean, I'm sure...
Given recent circumstances, I understand.
Well, the main issue that we are having is that, well, we can't put a lid on the Pandora's box we have opened, if you shall excuse me borrowing from an old legend.
Of course, I understand what you're saying.
We have created a method of infusing various psionic cybernetics with direct access to the Shroud. Whilst this causes no harm and no danger to the individual, the usage of these cybernetics is heavily reliant upon zero powder. As such, we have began our exploits in physically mining out portions of the Shroud. Thus, we must focus our efforts on it for now.
I understand. If you do have the resources and time to send an envoy, though, in the future, we would appreciate it, though I understand your internal matters always come first, of course.
We'd be more than happy to send an envoy. If you simply direct us at who you wish for us to talk with first, we'd be happy to.
Are there any
Being
specific
enforced.
species that you have a pre-existing relationship with, which is positive?
Unfortunately not. My current...
Perhaps an envoy to the Elysium Directorate, as they made it clear that they had a similar mind to us in the past meeting of the Galactic Community.
Yes,
Research
yes.
concluded.
Wonderful.
Then again, their fleet power is concerning, to say the least.
It
Not
is.
to mention the fact that they themselves are on the Galactic Council.
They are, but they did express an interest in not having it be as powerful as it could be. And I think they are one of the few powerful entities within the galaxy which would be open to such a conversation.
Very well. We shall initiate communication
Wonderful.
with them.
And I do have a meeting now with the Xeltek, as there is a duel to be had.
Yes. We wish you the very best.
And
The best
you
of luck.
with your experiments with the Shroud, my friend.
Research concluded.
They're currently in talks with someone else. I'll wait until Harold's not busy, and then we do have a duel we promised to do with him, so we'll do that. Alright, we are getting very stable economically here. Let's see if we can go ahead and raise the quality of living standards.
Another day, another scientific breakthrough.
We only have 24 robots? That's surprising. I feel like we have a lot more by now, but I guess not.
Construction project concluded. An alien empire has cracked our comms protocols. Show-offs.
We still have a deficit of rare crystals. Let's see if we can do something about that. Yeah, space dog interference indeed. I have a feeling that China will devolve into cliques again like it did after the collapse of the Qing dynasty. I don't know, that's a tough one. The CCP and the Central Chinese government have put so much effort into creating a unified culture through a lot of really not so great methods, and it has proven to be fairly effective from what I've seen in China. So I do wonder if it's really at that point that's even possible anymore. Greetings! This is a hail from a ship docked in the Atunia system on the border of the Shashikar system of Tirsonia. I come bearing a warrior who is given all of the greatest training and skill that Divergency has to offer. He may be old, but his experience in the fight with the enemy and in the fight with the Xeltek have made him strong, wise, and ferocious. We are here to meet the call and the challenge of the Shashikar to do battle unto the death. Your mic's really fucked up, Harold. Can you raise the volume?
At this time, it is not possible. We are currently in a conflict with the Elysium.
You are at war?
Yes.
I do apologize. I was not made aware of this circumstance.
You are speaking to the outpost here, which doesn't seem to be affected by this conflict at the moment. But
I hope in the future we will find a time where you can answer the call that you made to us.
yes, perhaps some time. But
I will take back our ship and our warrior unto our homeworld, and await the day when you find yourself ready to do battle in single combat.
We seem to be losing contact.
Harold, man, that mic, Jesus. Very well. Make us aware when you are able. Well, that's unfortunate. Better chance of Italy falling apart in the cliques than China. Yeah, they're very culturally, bureaucratically, and organizationally unified at this point. And from my extremely limited understanding of China's cultural politics, I think there are a few places which would probably potentially want to break off. Practically, I don't think it would happen, even given the very dramatic economic downfall I think we're going to see in China over the next couple of years, definitely next decade. It's a tough one to say, honestly. But that's just my general kind of perspective on it. I'm going to send our first fleet to go deal with the flotilla in the Mirzum system. It's time that we start clearing out some of these dangers within our systems. We'll leave the secondary fleet in Yana to hold back any potential incursions that may be had there in the future. There's apparently a war going on. Did not realize that. Yeah, the Shashikar and the Elysium Directorate. Much of that unification effort in the last 30 years was rallied with the Chinese dream they built on their economic backbone. When you remove that, I'm not so sure that unity will remain. We already see cracks happening here and there in social cohesion. That's true, but I mean, there was a really dramatic, just cultural. I'm trying to think of the word. I guess unification or a cultural remaking of China after. Really, the communists took power in the form the Chinese government was put into exile in Taiwan, and they've really been building off that ever since. The CCP is very active in trying to maintain a unified cultural unit of China, which doesn't always succeed really well, but it is an active thing they have attempted to do. And I'll put it this way, I'm just really curious to see if that will hold up when their economic promises fail, which they are going to. It's going to happen in a lot of places over the next few years as the recession gets worse and worse, which it will, I think. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. That's my general perspective. So I'm just going to be really curious to see how much of China's cohesion that they portray to the rest of the world, and that seems to be pretty apparent within their government, within their country, will actually hold up when things start to get bad again, which it will. I'm not saying that will certainly happen, but my just general perspective on what I've seen of what China's done over the last really 100 years almost now, I think that it has some strength. I'm just curious to see how strong that will be given very, I think, choppy economic oceans, you know, if that makes sense. And I won't sit here and say I understand China well enough to say definitively whether it will go a certain way, but I think that they do have a bit of unity, and I'm curious to see if that will hold up. Anyway.
Research concluded.
I want to build a hyper relay lanes across our whole empire in the future as well. We're going to definitely work on doing that. Our tech is kind of beginning to caught up. We're looking a little bit better tech-wise here. Now that we actually have a economist in charge of our divergency and not an admiral.
Construction project concluded.
We're looking really good job-wise, population-wise.
Construction project concluded.
We can make resort worlds now. We can also do what's it called? I do terraforming now. I just haven't been doing any of it. Let's turn Polaris into an alpine world and colonize it. We'll need a lot of energy credits though, so that'll take a while. No rush on that. And then can we make any of our mega structures? Elysian rings. I wonder if you could build both an orbital ring and Elysian ring around a planet. Because we could have 2 rings around our capital. That'd be pretty cool. Perhaps.
Construction project concluded.
We discovered an alien ship adrift among the asteroids surrounding 13371090. It's not responding to our hail signals. Whether this is due to it being unable to interpret our signal or perhaps some other reason, we do not know. We'll have to send a research ship then. Or a construction ship, I guess.
Construction project.
I do want to upgrade Lazarus Station at some point. Because that's our really only defense against Cerberus, who have proven to be questionable in their motivations, to put it lightly. Okay, so what is an orbital ring? I've never built one of these before. This is really cool looking. We can upgrade it. You can build habitation modules on it, which gives more districts on the planet. You can also build orbital shipyards, anchorages. So it's basically just a space station with a unique module. Definitely build those up. That's really cool. It just seems so to me that much of what we see in China is kind of sandcastle. Sure, it looks good and dandy, but how the tide comes in is not going to be so good looking, you know? Yeah, true. China's really kind of built a... I mean, a lot of their data and a lot of what China pretends to be is kind of hollow. China really values their country and their people's reputation, and they're not afraid to just outright lie and exaggerate both their economic figures, their technological progress, their industrial power, and everything else to appear stronger than they are, which is a very viable tactic, I suppose, in trying to, like, suggest that you're stronger than you are, which brings a lot of benefits to it. But it's one of those situations that pretending to be strong and building a hollow economy when we're about to enter a worldwide recession, I mean, we already have, but it'll get a lot worse, and it could even go beyond a recession. That's dangerous, because their house of cards may come crumbling down very quickly. After I'd spent some time in China, I couldn't help but feel that everything there's a facade. It is, there's a lot of that. They do a lot of pretending, or they like to project a reality which isn't quite what it appears to be, you know? Which, I don't know. It's complicated.
Construction project concluded.
Because it does come with benefits in a way. Okay. Let's upgrade the anchorages. They're under a lot of international pressure to do away with the cultural unification thing they're doing, which is borderline cultural cleansing. It's not borderline, it is cultural cleansing, and ethnic cleansing as well, to varying degrees. But they're kind of just ignoring it. I mean, they are getting pressured by the international community. Whether they're really doing anything about that, I mean, it appears that they've kind of just ignored it for the most part, and they're trying to hide it more than anything else. Which is unfortunate. No, you're fine, Scope. I don't mind talking about these topics. Stellaris is one of those games where once you get to this point of the game, which is like, you know, it's in the early part of the mid-game, there is just so much you have to constantly be doing. And it's a little overwhelming. So I will struggle to maintain cohesive thoughts on alternative subjects. I'm not opposed to them. I'm happy to talk with you about it, but I'm just warning you. My brain is... if you listen very closely, you can actually just hear like a sizzling sound, kind of akin to like bacon, you know, when it's getting really like crispy, and you know that sound? You can hear that from my brain right now if you listen very carefully, which is me trying to micro Stellaris in the mid to late game. So that's all I will say about that, Esco. I'm happy to... China's really interesting. And I assume we're going to probably do a lot of talking about it tomorrow, because tomorrow is when we are going to begin the China Millennium Dawn series that I've been promising for over a month now. That will be beginning tomorrow. That's going to be a tiered Millennium Dawn game that we're going to do, and I will be playing China, and I have a lot of fun roleplay planned for that. So I am sure we will do a lot of discussion on China tomorrow, which will be fun.
Sounds it.
Oh, hello there.
Sorry, I've
No worries,
fallen
man.
into a habit of just all turning up every now and then. I simply wish to inform you, how far have your scouts reached down towards the south?
Quite a ways. We are down to the, obviously, the demilitarized zone in Bellatrix. And of course we have encountered yet again the Reavers to the south. The Transgalactic Trade Authority just colonized that system in Hope's End. That's really annoying.
Yes, it is rather. Wait. Oh, yeah. The light's end.
I think I have open borders, so I can probably colonize past them, but...
Yes, you can. Simply wish to inform you that, well... just below the Reavers is a nearly fully intact ring world, currently laying unclaimed.
Really? I do not have maps of that region.
We shall open our sensor link with you.
Please do so.
You that we believe that a member of the Andari are attempting to lay claim to it, which... Either way, we shall share.
In that case, I had a roleplay. I didn't want to rush that area because, like, I'm roleplaying someone who's much more kind of slow in expansion. But given Shady is just literally speedrunning the western half of the galaxy, I think I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Shady in a second. Don't worry. Yeah, simply wish to inform you. It's an system called Zowad.
I don't believe it's on my star chart, so if you could give us the necessary information, we'd be very appreciative to you.
Well, unfortunately, I've already given you all of the information I can, apparently.
Really? That is very strange.
Yes. I believe at this point it's simply a case of, well, your researchers hunting it down. I'm very sorry about this.
Not at all. We will need to send a force to deal with the Reavers. I will endeavor to send my fleets there.
Oh, no, we shall bring our own fleets. We've been meaning to test out the newest sections.
My secondary fleet is almost finished upgrading on Yana Station. When it's done, we'll combine it with the first fleet, and we will send them there. We should be more than capable of overwhelming them, but if you would wish to test your own new designs, it's a good opportunity for such a thing.
Fear not, fear not. Well, either way, can we please, it's a bit of a strange ask, but I'm sure you are well aware of the dimensional horror towards your north.
Abundantly clear.
Well, we've recently developed a set of weapons that we may believe to be rather effective against it. Would you be open to us making our way through your borders in order to...
We would be happy to fight that creature together. I would suggest that we deal with these Reavers so we can claim that ring world to the south. Once that is done, we send our fleets north and deal with the dimensional horror together.
Magnificent. I believe our fleets will take quite a while to actually arrive, unfortunately.
Of course, space is very large.
If you are willing to wait, then we shall begin moving out.
There is no rush.
We shall meet you within Hope's End. The travel through the L gate will make it significantly faster. That's the first time we've ever said that.
Don't fry your brain CPU. What I need to get is some of those computer fans next to my brain when I play Stellaris. Just need to put them next to my ears. Privateers. Damn, we'll send the emergency fleet to deal with them. Seems that our officer corps is now almost entirely made up of Albanians. They have a certain competency when it comes to naval affairs that the Arcalan simply have. As a meritocratic government and system, they always promote based on competency, and it seems that most of our first admirals are now all Albanians. Does bring me much pride to see my brethren coming so far so quickly.
Well, of course. I mean, after all, it's in the very nature of a species to wish to see it prosper.
Of course, we are fully agreed.
Construction project concluded.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I just gotta,
Sounds good.
Do,
I can make this into a mercenary fleet now as well. It's cool. We actually have a mercenary capacity. Security contractors. How did we get that? Huh, interesting.
Construction project.
I'm still not used to those mechanics. That didn't come in Overlord, I don't think, though. When did mercenary contractors get into the game? I'm trying to think. Remember that.
Construction project concluded.
How many is your army civilians or clones? They are civilians, Lollipop. They're civilians. It's actually a very big fleet. We are not going to be able to defeat that. That's unfortunate. We'll leave the emergency fleet back in our home systems. And then we will deal with this when we bring our fleet back to deal with the dimensional horror.
Construction project concluded. Fleet enhancement supplied.
Let's see if we can get a raid against the Xeltek.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Because someone paid them to raid us, and I think it's the Xeltek. So we will do the same to them. A cool army would be more cheap, but it doesn't make sense in the roleplay. We're egalitarian, and we have a very fierce, like, martial history, which is one where every person serves. So to use clones, and just having clones generally widespread within the Divergency, it doesn't make any roleplay sense. Our species just simply would not do something like that. Okay, we are fully upgraded now. Plenty of jobs available. Pretty much everywhere. I wish there was a chart that would show you like when your population, like when your people go to like other species and when they come to you with migration. I wish there was like a menu for migration where you could see like the flow out and the flow in, which the game doesn't give you. So I'm always so uncertain like if I'm losing pops to like migration or, you know, things like that. So I feel like we should have more than we do right now, and I'm wondering if a lot of that isn't due perhaps entirely due to just migration of our people. Because we don't have closed borders. You are able to travel to other groups. Wow, that's a really big fleet. With the power of the puck and ourselves, we will be able to dispatch it, but that's quite intimidating. $43,000. Wow.
Yeah, sorted out with sir. He's not going to be expanding any further upwards.
Sounds good.
That being said, do you actually have the tech required to repair such a colossal structure?
I've gotten a couple like mega project researches, but I don't think I have like them properly done yet.
Very well. Well, in the past few years, we ourselves have unlocked the secrets of mecha engineering.
Really?
A long time.
I hope that we are very close to those technologies. We have a few. I do see it now. Down in Zillwood.
Yes. We simply wish to propose that if you would allow us to lay claim to it first, then we would be able to repair it much swifter.
Of course, you're welcome to do so.
Thank you.
Since you do lack the territory that we do, you're also welcome to simply keep that territory if you would like.
No. The reason I propose is because we simply do not need it. The plans that we have at the moment cover more than enough land for our people. In
Very
fact,
well.
we are actually having a bit of an unemployment problem in our worlds.
We are beginning to have the same. We've come a very long way from the time when we lacked living space. Now there is too much and too many jobs for our people.
I suppose it's a good type of problem to have.
It is indeed. But inconvenient regardless.
Yes.
Is there a way to see, like, how many or, like, if people have migrated out of your civilization to other ones? Is there a way to do that?
Not really, but if a member of your species ever gets put onto the slave market, it will notify you.
Yeah, I know that, but... Because you can, like, species can, like, pups can migrate out, like, for any reason, I believe. Like, if they want to. If you have it set, like, a certain way, right?
Yeah. Basically, the way the migration works is... Oh, sorry, I'm itching my eye. It doesn't necessarily move your pops. All it does is that it provides a modifier that will increase pop growth on one side and decrease it by the equal amount on the other side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll just bolster the numbers, so to speak. Personally, I think that a migration treaty isn't like an official, now that you've signed it, everyone can go where they want.
Yeah.
I like to think of it more as like okay, here is the official sanction, like, we're subsidizing the travel in between.
Yes.
So, whilst there is migration to begin with, if not, if applicable, because some empires just wouldn't want to interact with them. Yeah, I think it's just kind of a thing of each empire to their own,
I understand.
with how they interpret it.
An alien empire has established communications.
Our fleets are almost in Gossik. I hope that the mercenaries have not been made aware of our plans.
If they have, they won't have time to repair.
They will not. The element of surprise is always preferable.
Research concluded.
Our ships should be within orbit of Gossik within 2 years. 1 year if we're able to do so quickly. Which appears to be the case so far.
Research concluded.
We are now able to create Titans, as I know you already have that technology.
We have that technology, but we have no use of it at the moment. It's wasted on us. We prefer smaller skirmishes rather than the Leviathans of old.
We may begin to put more spending into the military again as our economy has become more prosperous than we expected, much quicker. It's always quite interesting to see how dramatically different the economy becomes when someone who actually knows what they're doing is in charge.
Yes.
I have nothing ill to say of my predecessors, but they certainly do lack a basic understanding of market economics.
Well, each scholar has their field.
I suppose.
I must confess to you something. In recent explorations into the Shroud, we found a well of psionic energy. It's nothing at the moment, but if a sufficiently strong entity were to absorb it, they could have, well, power untold. I myself am one of the few people who may have these abilities, but there is a fair chance I will die in the process.
I would caution you to remember that it is only through your careful guidance that your species is so stable. Do not throw away
And
your
it
life for
took-
power.
It took 140 years for us to even realize that we aren't magic. That's not guidance, that's foolishness.
I suppose. On a very different matter, my fleet's all ready to jump in the Hilja system.
Very well. Wish the commanders to do so. I shall retire for now. And hope that, well, hope that I don't die.
Wish you the best, my friend.
Ipururu, Herald of the Fiery Mountain, Walker of the In-Between, Head Geomancer of the Marmar Lord, has gained the Chosen One trait.
Did you actually get it?
Yeah, I actually got it.
You actually got it. Yep, Chosen One.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a 1 in 15 chance with the odds I had there, so I was kind of hoping that would go wrong, but
Congratulations are clearly in order. You have survived your great undertaking.
no, thank you. It was with much struggle.
Of course.
On the plus hand now.
Your competence is always without question. Are you ready
Plus
for us
side,
to do battle with these mercenaries and rid them of our lands permanently?
I doubt we can really call them mercenaries. No, let's call them what they really are. A pest to be exterminated. We'll begin moving our fleets forward at once.
We're jumping in. 40 days.
Construction project concluded.
Shall be 60 for us. However, our ships are much bulkier and will take longer.
We'll
to
hold the
actually
fleet in the
transport.
system until you arrive and attack together.
That is much appreciated.
Construction project concluded.
Sorry, I'm still taken aback about actually surviving. Yeah.
It's
I was
pretty cool. It's
genuinely-
pretty cool when you get
yeah.
it, especially in an MP game.
Well, yeah, but I went with the one that had the lowest chance of rolling it, and it's like a 1 in 15 chance.
Speaking of
genuinely
mega
surprised.
engineering, my scientists have brought to me a planned project to attempt to begin to build these great structures, which we will be doing.
Wonderful. We can only just wait and see to see what wonders you can do by bending the rules of physics. Although, given your Empire's track record, we may have to refer to them as suggestions of physics.
We had the early stages of this in our home galaxy. The records do tell of such a thing. I know that the Arcalans, before the fall and the jump, they had developed something known as, I believe, a Dyson sphere, though the technology was lost at the jump.
A Dyson sphere is a fairly simple machine once you actually know the process of it.
Indeed.
There are many over-engineered designs for solar-powered ones, but all you really need is a swarm of mirrors surrounding a sun. Although that may just be from the uneducated man's perspective.
Perhaps. Though I think it would be unreasonable to call you an uneducated man. Are your fleets ready for the last system we must face here?
But of course.
This is the big one. My scouts report that it is absolutely teeming with fleets. Well, they also have a Titan in there, I think.
Established communications. An alien empire has established.
I should warn you, our ships appear to be unable to actually enter the systems. I would highly recommend you do not enter just yet.
At all?
Yeah, it's just not letting me enter. I'm going to go to,
Oh, fuck, I
Zero.
jumped. I got locked in a menu. No, go back, fuck!
Yeah. Hit reverse, hit reverse. Don't worry, I've got some spare alloys energy if you need to,
Hit the wrong button there.
Run, boy, run. Appears that my nation is not the only one with gung-ho commanders.
Officer Core are definitely looking forward to this battle. So is it that you have to go in a different way, or just it's not letting you entirely?
Yeah, it's just not letting me go in. I'm trying to go through a different exit now. It says, oh, fuck me, I see what the issue is. It's an unsurveyed system.
Ah.
Despite me being able to completely see it, I'm just unable to actually
So
entering
you probably need to
those,
get a scientist there or something?
Yeah, I'll chuck a scientist into the meat wall, don't worry. If really worst case scenario, it dies and I just get a new one, not to sound callous.
Not at all. We will have our fleets wait on the border until then.
Thank you. Oh, we thought to give you the good news. The Elysium Collective were actually shockingly in favor of it.
I figured they might
wish-
be. That's good to hear. I did attempt to talk with the Sejakar, but they were in a war with the Elysium Directorate and were uninterested in any talks until they dealt with that.
Oh, yes, I heard of a war.
I'm not sure of its exact nature, but I do know that the Sejakar are losing quite badly.
Well, you would offer help if they would not be so difficult to communicate.
They still have
with
closed
sometimes.
borders with us. I don't think that any help is really warranted here.
Speaking of closed borders, it may be time to kindly request that the Cerberus Defense Co. open their borders for inspection.
At some point. It's not one of our biggest priorities currently.
Yes, of course. Just not letting me go in.
We need to finalize the expansion of the southern periphery and the unclaimed systems, as well as get our general alloy economy to be much higher before we think about causing any tensions with them. They are absolutely dominant in terms of economics and fleet power to our Federation.
To our Federation? No.
I
They have
believe so.
equivalent ship. Yeah, they have equivalent ship power to us, but they're actually inferior in technology.
That's surprising.
If we were to combine our forces on their borders, then I doubt we'd have anything to worry about.
It's always good to know. Purpose of the service. Capable guiding will ensure prosperity, so leading and advancing will benefit there as individuals, and as the whole as they do with their respective tasks. Well, that needs rewritten.
Research concluded.
I'm just going to survey the neighboring system to the pirates.
Sounds good.
What is your fleets actually made out of? Is it just like generally battleships, or is it more?
I do like just like a ratio typically. So I'll do 1 battleship, 2 cruisers, 4 destroyers, and 8 corvettes. I just do it simple like that.
Good plan. I tend to do the same thing, but I prefer smaller ships over bigger ones.
Well, understandable. It's not about the size, though. Remember, it's important.
Damn right.
We gotta follow Joker MD. And also, thank you for follow Lancer if you're still here. You're probably not. That was an hour ago. I completely forgot to say something. Because I forgot.
Thanks, Lancer.
If you are still here, I apologize.
And thank you. We're gonna turn Polaris Prime into a resort world, I think.
Coincidence, we were about to convert one of our worlds into a resort world as well.
It appears we're gonna have competition for where the Federation chooses to vacation.
Speaking of the Federation, we have a matter to discuss.
Do it.
Currently, we are on minimal Federation centralization, but if we were to increase it, we may be able to share our resources and technological advancements a bit better.
I'm happy
That
to
being
do
said-
so. We view the Puck as our brothers and sisters, nothing less.
Very well, we shall submit the proposal now.
Research concluded.
yeah, it's just not letting me in.
Did you get a, you have a research pit and it's not going in?
Yeah, I can jump drive into it, but I can't fly into it. If that makes sense.
Try to jump into it. That might get rid of it.
I can. No, I've already done that. I've already lost a level 9 leader to it.
Fuck.
It's okay, but I'm an elitist empire. My leaders already start at level 3, and we get.
I mean, I could try and clear it out myself, but I think I'd struggle.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to do it. I think it may be best if we just leave it for now. Sorry.
No, I mean, trying to think.
Research concluded.
Because I have a full view of it, but
You can't just like manually. Maybe you know, how you, like in like a system, you can like do the click button and like move the fleet that way. Have you tried that?
yeah, I know what you mean. No, I can't do that. Annoyingly.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just really inconvenient.
Yeah. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I am such an idiot.
Did you figure it out?
Oh yeah, I haven't been using a jump drive. I've been sending him into subspace navigation.
Fair.
So he's just in the middle of the void. Just hanging out for a bit.
You ready to go then?
Rich, no, it's still not letting me.
Fuck.
What the hell do I ship think though?
Concluded.
It's not like two systems on top of each other, is it? No. Well, that's mildly annoying. Oh my god, I know what. I'm so stupid. Okay, yeah, I know what happened.
What was the issue?
The mod that we've got for the new ship types, one of the new added tools that you can use on it is it's a destroyer part that lowers the visibility in the area around your fleets. I put too many of them on my ships, and now they literally can't see into the next fleet over.
Wow.
So stupid.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go send them home to fix that.
Are you gonna have to go upgrade your fleets for that, I assume?
I'm gonna have to go
Okay.
upgrade my fleets. Oh, I do not even have nearly enough alloys for that. I'm not putting 67 alloys out of my ass.
How much do you need total?
About 85k.
What the fuck?
Well, in all fairness, I just got psionic jump drives and psionic shields, so...
That's fair. I can't help you with that, as I currently only have 1,000.
Yeah.
Construction project concluded.
Perhaps then
Perhaps we ought to rendezvous at the Leviathan, towards the north.
I agree. I have my own
I'm sure
fleets to
you-
upgrade. I'm going to send them back to Yana, upgrade them. Let's go deal with the... you can upgrade your fleets. Then we can come back and deal with the Reavers. And then we'll deal with the Dimensional Horror. And then we also need to deal with the Stellarite Devourer as well, which is...
Oh,
in my
yes, we need to
territories.
ensure that beast dies much
Indeed.
sooner
It could be
rather than later.
dangerous. It's not seen as a very high-status threat by the Admiralty, but it is on our list of things that we ought to deal with sooner rather than later.
God knows what a spy could do with one of those eggs.
Precisely.
I assume you know about the spectral espionage mission for it.
Absolutely not.
Really?
No, I haven't used the espionage system much.
Oh, do you want to go into it spoiler-free, or do you want to know?
I prefer not to know, actually.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, because I would rather be surprised by it.
No worries. I get that sort of thing. I mean, it's personally, I think it's just the coolest thing you can do with the.
I'm sure it is very cool, but I'd rather it be done to me or me do it to someone else when I figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
More interesting that way.
Yeah.
It's good to see Ukrainian progress in the front lines. Has it changed much, Escova? Last time I looked, it was very stable on both sides. It's good to hear.
I suppose no news is good news.
True.
He says, as someone completely detached from the situation, who has absolutely no qualifications or.
Listen, we're part of the Anglosphere. You can't be a part of the Anglosphere and not have opinions on things you don't understand. That's just not how it works.
Sorry, but that is an opinion, and I don't understand it, and I don't agree with it. So, checkmate, atheist.
Shit, well, I have nothing to say to that, frankly. Alright, I'll be right back again.
Sounds good.
They've made small progress in Zaporizhzhia, and it's hard to know if the Kherson counteroffensive is doing well because there's an embargo on information from the front. But in the Donbass, they've mostly stalled the Russian advance. That I do know. I made a nice push towards Izium. Not very deep, but fairly broad. Retaking the city would be a massive boon for their defense. I will be honest, I have not kept really up to date on that in the last month or so.
Because although there is obviously some changes being done on the front, like for the most part, it is very stable right now. But I'm glad that they are making some gains. We're still really good job-wise. We have far more jobs than we have people.
I suppose that's a job for the next generation to employ.
We have massively expanded our cryo revitalization chambers, and we have massive robotic production facilities. Which, now that we've given full citizen rights to all synthetics, is a boon to our entire divergency.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Overall, the Russian troop movements feel like they've been rearranging a deck of chairs on the Titanic at this point. It does appear that the Russian government and Putin have kind of made peace with the fact that they are not going to explicitly win the war. So I think they're just going to probably drag it out for a while and then try and get favorable terms, which it appears they're not going to get, because the Ukrainians aren't really interested in anything other than retaining everything at this point. I'm really curious to see if Ukraine will push for the return of Crimea in the peace treaty. That'll probably be, I think, the main hot topic when that day comes, when they discuss that. I can't imagine Russia will give it up, but I think it will be heavily debated.
Dear friends, I'm so sorry, but I've just realized colossal oversight within our federation. Have
Indeed.
we not had a migration treaty made official yet?
I assume we have. Our people, it's a federation, we move freely, do we not?
No, our...
Ah!
Apparently we have no migration treaty.
Well, we need to fix
whatsoever.
that immediately.
Yeah, of course.
Open borders are an important part of as centralized of a inter-civilizational structure we currently have.
Now, I know this will be a touchy subject for you, and trust me, I truly believe, I hope you trust us when you say we mean this for the best. Our federation needs a centralized military force, not to act in aggression, but to protect us should the worst come to pass.
The only reason I would ever be opposed to that is due to economic reasons, but given the massively stabilized nature of our current economy, I will not oppose that at all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our people would be more than happy to fund the ships entirely.
You will have to do so, as our economy is primarily consumer-based, although we do have a healthy surplus of alloys. It is nothing compared to your own, that we are keenly aware.
That's besides the point. It's... As far as we are concerned, our current production is not because of anything we have done, simply by the chances of our creation.
I doubt they'll be able to get that. Maybe if they are eventually able to outright march in with their troops, that would be a bad move. True, that caused a lot of problems. Greetings, Arcalans. As you no doubt know, we at Quinty have dedicated to the study and observation of all forms of life in the galaxy. We have studied your species and determined that the Arcala divergency is unlikely to last more than a few centuries at best. To ensure the continuation of your species, should the worst befall your empire, we would like to acquire part of your population for our endangered species preserve. We, of course, utterly deny that. We are not the type of government, civilization, or interspecies communion that simply gives away our people at the request of aliens. So we will, of course, deny this.
If you did give them away, then what would have been the point of the Xeltek War?
Precisely.
An alien empire has established communications.
I have possibly good news, dear friends. Current Galactic Council re-elections taking place, and we may find ourselves with a spot on a council.
It's fantastic to hear. Having our Federation represented on the council, though we are opposed to it entirely, would, I think, help to potentially lead to some anti-corruption reforms.
Yes.
No wars right now, Samurai. We ended our last one at the start of this session, but there haven't been any since. We have been fighting back the Reavers, though.
Or trying to.
Trying to. And it's the key way to put it, I suppose. To varying levels of success. Hope you're having a good day, Samurai. On this fine Friday, semi-weekend, depending on where you're at and whether your work's done or not. Any other galaxy-wide conflicts? Yes, there was a war. I think it is still ongoing between the Elysium Directorate and the Sajikar. There's a war going between them. I don't think there are any other galactic wars currently.
There is one brewing in the south, I believe.
Between
the Order of Saju and oh god, what's it called? The Endari Extraction Corporation. That's not
the Forge Worlds.
That's not the Forge Worlds.
Oh, they are different.
The Forge Worlds, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna expand really quickly because they get to just ignore all those treaties.
No. They are set to expansion prohibited, so they cannot expand.
They already have Bafrock. They just took that.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we'll have to rip that system from their hands. Which
Hopefully not.
sounds rather evil, but
Conciliation is always possible.
yes, yeah. If not for peace, then what is diplomacy for?
Construction project complete.
I suspect many of the galactic community would have some very interesting perspectives on that question. When was the council expanded?
It was a while ago, I think.
Yeah. Well, you are on it now. That is wonderful.
Yes.
I'm doing pretty good, Samurai. Go ahead here.
An AI has declared war on an AI.
Oh, I just crashed.
Oh, did you?
It appears that war my computer did not like.
My game crashed.
Yep,
Yeah,
same here.
everyone's game's crashed.
Did we crash?
Yeah.
Was it animated crashed?
Yep, alright. Well, there's not going to be enough room for everyone's chatting here, because let's head up to the
I can change the channel.
We can go up to the community. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, might as well.
I see you're having bad consumer production. It's been off and on for a while. It's getting stabilized. We're working on it right now. We had a big surplus for a while, but then we raised our living conditions, our standards.
All
so.
crashed. That's what happened. Does someone have the same at least?
Well aware, mate. Okay. Quasar. I've got a save of where the game is currently now. Did you manage to grab a save, or? Hello?
Oh, I was muted, sorry. I can grab it. No problem.
So, saving you now, if you need.
Yep.
If you stay here, I'm just gonna go down and pull the Andorra Forge Worlds up.
Yep.
This is why robots are better. You're not wrong. They're more efficient.
Being invaded.
Liberated.
Excuse me. I'm not yawning out of boredom. I'm yawning out of mild exhaustion.
You're going to need, I think, 20,000.
20,000.
So who's ready for the crisis? Anyone? You all ready?
Who's ready for my Titan?
I'm just asking if everyone's ready for like.
Hey
Cause
guys, who's ready for my
got
battleship?
Damn, man.
What is the cyber right?
Damn.
That sounds
No, I'm
terrifying.
just saying-
Who's ready for my multiple Econopolis producing alloys, all making?
So,
That doesn't
We
change
may have to have a
Literally
chat about
my
that.
name. That is literally my name, so bitch, step
So,
down.
Dustin, I think you're going to need double the troops for this.
But yeah, we're reaching.
I saw your necro
Yeah, sure.
army. That was hilarious. I'm
but
like, how
yeah,
do you get
we're
like all these
we're
things?
reaching-
So weird.
we're
And that's all
reaching
these
the mid-game.
creatures.
Probably you're getting the host up so I can grab the save, right?
Couldn't hear that, Xeltek?
You making the lobby up so I can grab the save, right?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Alright.
So Dustin,
Yeah.
if I have 12,000, that means you're going to need 24,000.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be getting there.
Mid-game crisis. Gonna be very epic.
Hell yeah.
Marauders. Really well positioned, guys.
It's still
Yeah.
insane to think like that we are just arriving at the mid game.
I mean,
Oh,
Me,
actually, we're about halfway into the mid-game, but I'm actually genuinely surprised that Marauders
I've got a
haven't
hunch. I've
gone
got a
all
hunch
Carney
the
yet.
game won't happen.
me
Yeah.
and Dustin,
Yeah.
are just having a humongous war right now.
Well,
I've been watching that
if no one is
order.
opposed to it, I might be able to force spawn the mid-game crisis.
I mean, where's it gonna be though? It's gonna be.
It's going to be directly under me, and it's going to be directly under my Federation partner.
Yeah, but all of its stations have been destroyed other than its home one.
Oh, we're gonna get the con event.
No.
Isn't it
Wait, are we doing con? I'm down for it.
We can. I mean,
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
but does the
not-
con
I'm
have the
not-
trigger?
He can spawn it, I believe.
I
Yeah,
won't be able to
but
fight him.
he's
Wait,
for the
no,
event.
we should
The
wait
drums
and
of
should
war.
wait.
see
We should wait.
if it
Yeah.
naturally spawns.
We can't even get access to that one system anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's probably going
mean-
to happen here in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
That or Heaven versus Hell event
I mean,
fights.
aren't we?
War
aren't
in
we-
heaven.
Aren't we like Yeah, aren't we like 50 years into the mid game?
No, it usually is
Right.
around 23, 50.
Also,
when I usually
Very good
see
robots
the
over
event
20%
start.
attack, army attack plus
Also, quick
upkeep,
question,
and
are
minus
we,
10
Interesting.
build speed
I'm
just over
called King
upgrade.
North, by the way, cause I changed it.
Do you like? Do you
We
just
are
same
not-
play the
it's
same
fake
one over and
thing,
over
it's
again
not the
kind of
real
thing,
one.
Canadian?
It's
Oh,
fake
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Well, so what did you
Is
say?
Xander R. Manson the one?
Yeah,
Don't
no,
post that.
no,
Don't join in that. It's just I'm giving the save frame right
So,
now. And then
what
I
did you?
host.
Hello, if you are not helping with the save, please move out of this voice channel. Or at least go back into the audience. I don't want to be
Yeah,
rude,
sad.
but we really need to focus on getting things sorted now.
Yeah. Otherwise we're sitting here like 2 hours and do nothing.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy, but, you know. Sorry.
Let's
Thanks,
do that,
everyone.
anyway.
Elysium, get your ass back down there.
I'm 80% through. I'm loading in fast, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, we got a technical break here as we get a rehost up. So patience is virtue. We also have an hour and 30 minutes left of this game. Just heads up, guys.
Sweet.
And then I'm not streaming anything else tonight. Tomorrow we have the China Millennium Dawn starting at 12:15 EST. That'll be a lot of fun. And then Sunday we have EU4. I think that's it for this weekend.
Right, save game. Gonna call it. I got a save. I'm gonna host now.
I made burritos last night, and I have leftovers that I'm just dreaming about right now because I didn't eat breakfast.
Host saved game.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
As soon as I'm done with this game, I'm gonna go make some good fucking leftover burritos. Fuck yeah.
We're doing one by one again, right?
I mean, I guess.
Right. Nice
Sorry,
stuff.
that sounded a lot more apathetic than intended.
So I would like to point out that I did not come up here myself. Someone invited me. I didn't even look.
Right, well, someone just shot him.
It was I.
Just so folks are aware, I am abusing my admin powers. So just so people know, it's me and not someone else.
We'll ban you.
I want us to actually get back into this game in a somewhat timely manner here, so I'm gonna try and keep things on topic so we can get this rehost to not take an hour. We did this last game, or I think the first session. Man, it took like 45 minutes for us to get the game back up, which I really want to not happen, because fuck, we only have an hour and a half left. There's still a lot to do. There's always a lot to do in a Paradox game, to be fair. Paradox games are just like they're so constant in what you need to be doing constantly. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but
Okay. I'm going to head off into a different voice channel. If you guys just want to like hang out among yourself, I'm going to work out how to spawn the mid-game crisis. Did we agree that we wanted to spawn it early, or early, quote unquote?
I think people waited to say it like just to wait
you
for
are
it.
the game controller, and that is entirely going to be your call.
Yep.
Game controllers and game
true.
managers are basically the guys who dictate the roleplay story, and if you feel the game needs it, I mean, if people are opposed to it, they can say so, but it is at the end of the day your call, roleplay-wise.
Yeah, I know. I'm just mulling it over and trying to get everyone's consensus, so I don't end up
Right.
like dictator.
My vote is yes. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, my vote's yes. But if you do end up doing it, the event's called the Drums of War.
Next in line, please. I abstain. I'm indifferent.
I would honestly prefer if we waited on it, because it's probably going to happen eventually. It's just, we just have to give it time.
Oh, what was that? Sorry. I kind of faded out there for a second.
Sorry, my bad. I would say this way on it. I think it's going to happen eventually. I think, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. I genuinely think with the current fleets in the galaxy, we are perfectly fine to take on the Khan. I think if we leave it too long from now, it's not going to become a challenge.
Agreed.
If that makes sense.
Also, 2 out of the 3 Marauders have already been destroyed, just on their own by players.
No, only 1 out of 3.
Oh, 1? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.5. We did take out one of the systems in that other one.
1 1/3 at best.
Oh yeah.
The other like the
1.33 repeating. There we go.
Yeah.
I like how the Marauder Empire is like trying to raid me and it just like died to like my star station alone. That's funny. Whoever pays them all the time, it doesn't work. Just putting that out there.
Whoops. No, seriously, it wasn't me. I know that may come as a shock, seeing as much as my species hates you, but it wasn't me.
I know who it is. It's probably Hammurabi.
I will be completely honest. I've tried, but they're always busy when I go to talk to them. I forget for like another 10 years. So I would, but I never talk to them when their fleets are available. So I'll be honest.
Then I have some traitor rat who plays friendly with me.
They're honestly a waste of money. I never get them because they will never bring they're good really early game, but like mid game.
The roleplay part of it is what's important, not what they actually do.
Right, it's for the roleplay. I will say that I find it amusing that somebody is literally paying to give free research to you.
Alright, Hammurabi got into the game. Next is hastening.
Is that playlist dead? No, it's not loud. Grab water. I'll be right back.
Is it back up or are we?
We're doing 1 by 1. It's back up. I'm loading in hastening right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, he loaded in, so...
I need to load in. Sorry, Something I should warn everyone is that I will have to. I will be spawning in the Great Khan. I think that if we leave it any longer, we're just going to curb stomp it the moment it comes out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, my fleets at the moment are currently on par. Actually, I've got larger fleets than the average person. Tell you what, I will leave it 10 years, and in 10 years' time, the Great Khan will spawn. How does everyone feel about that?
Okay. Yeah, you can do it if you want to. Like, just do a random moment when nobody expects it.
I would oppose that because what's going to happen are players are just going to rush massive fleets so they can kill the Khan.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, your call, of course.
I mean, I've been RPing a war with Dustin, so...
I will spawn it at a random moment fairly soon.
Have a massive fleet as well, because, well, yeah.
I mean, won't that fire rehost later?
Okay, I'll let it go naturally. It's probably going to spawn in like half a minute anyways. Going our luck. Sorry about all the indecision, everyone. I just want to get everyone's consensus before I start making mid-game crises.
Sunder is in, next in line, please. Sorry, to cut you off.
No worries.
I think Quazo works at like the German TSA. Next in line, yeah. I will have to do a deep cavity search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will enjoy it.
This you bring the anti-baby pill.
Oh my god, dude.
I fucking love the German word for birth control.
What is it?
Anti-baby pillen.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's literally anti-baby pillen.
what we call it right now, like shortened, we just say the pillar.
Anti-baby filler.
Yeah, but we just say the pillar, and everybody
Yeah,
knows what
but
the
we're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta love that German subtlety, you know. They never hit things on the head. It's always just so subtle.
It's like when like, do you remember when that shitty M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie came out?
Oh god.
Yeah, there was a bunch of adverts on TV at the time for for the movie, and it was like, oh, what type of elemental master are you? But when it aired in in England,
it's the 90s.
What they didn't realize was that
take those shoes off.
Bender is slang for a very effeminate gay man over here. So there were just lots of adverts over here of what type of bender are you? Zero context. Like there were actual protests because of it, and no one realized it because people wanted to be fucking.
You're not making only fun about me. Like I'm not the only German in here right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pulpenfahrten. We beat you once, we'll beat you again.
No, you're not.
Actually, no, we didn't really beat you. We kind of got friends, or.
You were in the context of an MMO. You were the support healer class, while the Russians were the tank and America was the DPS.
Fair enough, but I would like to say that Russia was a shitty tank.
He was. He always bitched, and this was really into some really weird political shit.
Yeah.
I think in this game, like in the war, I was like Russia and you were like Germany and fucking like I don't know, Italy or whatever.
You're really gonna call yourself Russia when you were? Well, you know, it's not inaccurate, I suppose,
you
but.
Abducting and assimilating our population.
Next in time, line. I mean, yes, but
that, I don't know what you did to the save file, but I did just lose a couple of my scientists for some reason.
I have done literally nothing to the save file.
Wow. Okay. Weird.
Well, that's an encouraging sign.
I just had like a million pop-ups from events.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That kind of happens if you're running any event.
I saw got a random guy I wrote. I like it.
Russia was not a tank; it was a berserker.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't do enough magic mushrooms for that.
Well, you'll keep hiring my fleets. I end up always saying some of my fleet. Like one of my outposts has like no ships. So I forget who that is.
That's the AI probably. They're like the only people who actually buy them.
What makes you able to make mercenary fleets? Because I have the capacity to do a mercenary fleet now, and I don't understand why.
You need to have a fleet. You have a fleet size of at least 50. Go ahead and tell it to establish a mercenary outpost. It'll then establish a mercenary outpost, and then you can go ahead and you can cut as their patron. Well, it has to also be within your system too. As your patron, you can go ahead and tell them to either A, expand their fleet by giving them alloys and credits, or B, giving them the technology and they'll give
I know what it does, but I don't understand like what are just all civilizations able to do that?
The requirements for it. Okay. The requirements, no, not all civilizations can. Hive Mind and Gestalt can't.
Well, they can't establish them, but they can still hire the fleets. They just can't establish anything.
No, yeah, but what makes you able to establish it? Because I'm able to establish one, and I don't understand how.
To establish a mercenary fleet, you either need to get the Lord of War Ascension perk, which will allow you to establish one. It will also increase all the shit that they're giving from your dividends. There's a couple of galactic community voting shits that you can pass that will give everyone the ability to make at least one.
Okay.
And a bunch of civics that used to be just good, now also can give you some mercenary fleets, like barbaric despoilers.
Gotcha.
Barbaric despoilers now lets you get an extra merc fleet.
For example, what's it called? My one of my civics is like, I think it's military districts, like one of them's like private contractors or something like that, whatever it is. It allows me to establish outpost.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I shaved my beard. Otherwise, this TSA agent would demand that I get fully searched.
He still can.
That's true. Yeah.
Do not tempt fate, just because you look like a boy.
Whenever I have a beard, I always get randomly checked by airport security.
Oh, it's definitely random.
Yeah, it happens every time in a random fashion.
Yeah.
But also another thing too is that what's it called? The mercenary fleets are also really nice because essentially you just pay credits and you immediately just get a large fleet. That's probably even over your own fleet capacity.
Yeah.
Like one of the mercenary fleets has like a 42k fleet that's essentially only worth 10,000 credits, and you get to keep it, and there's like no like continuous amount of credits. You just pay it once, and then there you go.
No, you have to pay it a fuck ton.
It's only 10,000 credits. That's nothing.
No, the upkeep is a fuck ton.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess so technically with the way you're pumping out credits like I am, it's not an issue.
Oh, subtle brag.
I mean, being a mega corp, it's kind of like the thingy.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also, you can also like hire ground troops too, which is really nice if you need to do. If you quickly need a
the
bunch
ground
of
troops are the expensive ones. The ground troops, each army, whilst they are slightly better than a normal one, costs 5 energy for upkeep, and you get like 50. So you can suck away your bank account.
But they're also good because they're really fast to get pump out. You essentially get them instantly instead of having to wait for training.
Yeah, but then you have to spend the next 10 years paying them 5 energy each per
Well, you don't have to worry about that if you just send them to their deaths on the planet.
Damn, you're a compassionate leader. Why wouldn't they want to be?
He's an AI corporation. What do you expect? There's no morality.
God, no.
Well, I mean, quite literally, because
assets are better dead. Alive
exactly.
than dead.
Well,
No.
What's it called? All my species have thylific implants, which essentially negates all happiness, so they're always happy all the time. Or actually, let me look at this. They're emotionless. That's a way better way, but yeah.
It sounds like it's the fantastic society to be in.
The literal corporate dystopia is what
Just in a really enjoyable place.
It's a literal corporate dystopia.
I just clone people.
Actually, I do the same thing. I also have cloning events. Better, yeah. Actually, go ahead. I can create life too because I have the what's it called? The technology for like generating like species.
You know why? This save is back a little ways.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so not much.
Well, no, it's weird. It despawned the station on Gossick and on Hopesin for some reason, and on Forterra, or it just went back really far. I can't tell which. Yeah, this is before I even colonized Grugomora. Whoa.
I can't see how far back it went. Or I really can't tell.
Also, Xeltek, you know you still need to destroy that station in Rabinok, right?
In who?
In Rabinok. That's part of the demilitarized zone.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Oh, maybe this is what I just hired my own mercenary fleet. I think that's what this was. Well, that's another thing too. I could just hire my own mercenary fleets if I really need them.
No, yeah, but they're also expensive.
Yeah,
but it's a much better deal than just having them normally, but it's also a lot of hoops to jump for that bonus.
As long as you give them the same tech you have, you can go ahead and have pretty decent mercenary fleets.
Why would you ever give your monkeys an upgraded rock or spear?
It's because it's the potential that the fact is the monkeys go ahead and already have the fleets there. Like it's like this. If I already have a group of monkeys with weapons already ready to fight, I'd rather just go ahead and get the group of monkeys with weapons instead of having to make a bunch of weapons for the people I already have. What
coward? Real men just die.
Real men die. Hey, I'd rather have the AI build a bunch of ships for me and then just go ahead and just use
Don't let another man ruin your day. Ruin it yourself. Alright?
Ruin it yourself.
Yeah, man.
Real men fuck up their own lives. They don't let the universe do it for them.
But also another thing too is that I don't know if any of you noticed, but I have like any place I have a commercial pact with, I can actually establish branch offices, which are really neat. They provide jobs.
Unfortunately, you gaslit me a bit too much. Real lives where I don't know where I was going with that. I thought I'd find something funny to say.
Are we just waiting on Charles?
No, we're waiting on Cameron.
Okay.
Is he AFK or?
No, he's loading in.
Oh, cool.
But because he's in Australia, it takes time.
Goddamn Aussies, man.
Sorry, I totally didn't take a nano nap.
Australians are just English people that
You need to put a giant engine on Australia and then just like drive your continent over to like the Atlantic or something, you know.
War.
Do you reckon
I think that's already been done, Han. It's called Pangea.
Do we know
Listen,
why we
no.
crashed?
I'm talking about just putting like, all right, hear me out. Find every motor boat engine in the Pacific and put them all on the eastern coast of Australia and turn them all on at once. And then you can just slowly drive the whole continent of Australia to the Atlantic, where you can have good internet connection.
Or do we know why we crashed? Does anyone know why we crashed? 'Cause-
No.
Nope.
Nope.
That's why we're not pressing play.
I'm at war right now, and I wasn't at war before.
There's been a lot of wonky shit.
I did press something, and then we
Are we
crashed.
missing anybody else? Are we missing
What did you
anybody else?
press?
Psionic Ascension. It's something I can do on my planet. It basically they ascend to the stars.
They all
We're
kill
missing
themselves
anybody?
and becomes row dust.
Yeah.
No, we're not missing anyone. I don't
Oh.
think, are we?
Maybe we
I've
should
got
put
it.
it on slow for the beginning, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm at war. There's a civil war on Earth.
There is?
Yeah, this is
That's-
Yeah, the
strap
humans
is
have a
weird.
civil war right now.
That's interesting.
This
Yeah,
strap is
there's
weird
a
for me
lot of
because
really weird shit.
I'm not in the
Okay.
past, I'm in the present, but like, I think
Uh,
okay. My
so-
Unity and
You're
stuff,
not wrong.
like,
There's some wonky shit happen. I have new ships that I didn't have before. Some of my leaders are missing. I'm missing other kinds of ships.
I've got a million ships that have zero.
I
fleet
think
power.
they've all overlapped with Okay.
I've got a million ships with zero fleet power. What is this, guys?
Alright, everyone, I think we're going to have to call the session to an end here, because there very clearly needs to be some repairs done.
Yeah, I think the save needs a little bit of a repair work on it.
TLC.
Fucking hell.
There's some editing.
Alright, I'm gonna go in my stream. I'll be right back.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Alright, we're gonna end here. Technical issues. I apologize for everyone that sat here and waited for this rehost, but there's some weird shit going on with save. We're gonna have to get it repaired. So I apologize, folks. This will be a shorter stream today. For everyone who stuck around, if there's any of you, I appreciate it. But we are gonna have to end here. Let's go find someone to raid. I think Comrade Truck is streaming, and I owe that man a fucking raid. He's a cool Stellaris streamer. Is he? Aha! He's streaming! Good, we can raid him. He's a really cool streamer. He does a lot more like comp and like casual Stellaris, but he's just a cool dude. I really like him. I watch his stream sometimes just because he's entertaining. He's a cool guy. So we'll go raid him, and he's a cool fucking profile thing he streams with. Tomorrow we have the beginning of the China Millennium Dawn series. I've been promising for quite a while now. I will be role-playing out China in that in a tiered game with some really good high-quality roleplay, hopefully. And then I will be obviously making the YouTube series with a lot of effort. I've been promising that for a while, but I wanted to do it right. So we start that tomorrow. Sunday, we're going to continue with the EU4 roleplay. Coming up in the future, there is a really good CK3 Iberia game that we're beginning to plan, and we'll be doing that in the future. We're also planning out an Ambinar game. I've been promising Ambinar for a while. We are going to do it right. We're setting that up right now, so Ambinar is also on the horizon. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all soon.